Oh yeah, yeah. Nobody's
I feel
doing
like
straight
people's
fentanyl.
yeah, no, but I just mean like I feel like people aren't doing like coke right now because no one's going to
True.
bars, no
Yeah.
one's
Nobody's doing
partying, no one
coke.
wants to do coke. Like I don't, I honestly still don't even know what it feels like because I've never done it and I don't really want to. But I can't imagine it's fun because it's just like you get peppy like coffee, but times like 10 or 100.
Yeah. You're not
So
doing.
yeah, you're not doing that to watch fucking Star Wars for the fifth time.
If you've done Adderall, you experienced it. That's the best comparison I can
I
make
haven't
to it.
done that either
You've never taken Adderall?
because I've always in the back of my head thought that I needed it,
Oh.
and
So you're
like
afraid that
I'm afraid that like if I take it and it like fixes all of my problems and then I can't get a prescription for it, I'm like, damn. I might as well just fucking kill myself.
this is all I ever needed.
That's all I ever needed. I wouldn't have been a fuck up.
It's like the fucking limitless pill.
Yeah,
That's what I
for
feel like
real.
Adderall would be for me. I feel like I would be limitless if I could just
Yeah,
take
right?
Adderall all the time. Be fucking doing math equations, like seeing them in my fucking mind.
Learning piano, but also
Learning
trigonometry
piano
again for
and
fun.
trigonometry at the same time. One hand writing, one hand playing Beethoven's Fifth.
Dude,
Who
it
knew,
would be
dude?
funny
Adderall's
if
the shit.
it'd be funny if like what was that Adam Sandler movie where he had to like go back to school?
Billy Madison.
Billy Madison. If it was Billy Madison but with limitless pill, he just had to go through school again, but on that fucking drug.
Dude, I had a dream I was in school last night, dude. It sucked, bro.
Damn, that
It was like the worst dream.
dude. It's been so long since we've been in school.
I know, dude. I was like, even when I was in my dream, I was like, this is fucking bullshit, dude. Why am I in school? This doesn't make any sense, but I'm gonna run with it. Also, why am I not wearing a shirt at school? Wasn't wearing a fucking shirt at fucking high school, dude.
What is it all like people that you remembered from high school there, or was it like different new people?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Was it a Billy
like,
Madison situation?
no, it'd been a cooler dream if it was.
Did you have
It
to
just
pee your
felt
pants?
like-
So
I got like a fucking interim report. Remember interim reports? They had to get signed by your
Yeah.
parents.
dude,
I got one of
yeah.
those, and I was
Those
like,
are
I'm not getting
brutal.
my mom to sign this. I'm 27 years old.
I don't even live with her anymore.
I'm signing this,
I
bro.
don't know what her
my,
schedule is.
I'm my own legal guardian right now, bro. Fuck you. I get it that I'm in high school right now, but also I'm 27. And this makes sense for some reason, and I'm just going to run with it until I wake up. All right. I think
Was it
I took a hit
successful?
of that bowl.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure.
We'll see.
But legally speaking, you can't prove it. That could be a lie, just like this live stream. This is all facade.
Or is it?
Or is it? Or am I high? And are we live?
That would have been such a good way to go in if I just said from the studio, but I'm still rolling up.
I'm gonna fucking edit it whenever you say from the studio. I'm gonna fucking crossfade that shit, and it's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be the most perfect intro
dude,
of all
that's
time.
Perfect.
Yeah, dude.
Perfect.
We have the technology.
We do. This isn't live. And this part's going
Or
to be
is
cut,
it?
so I can say that.
Break me higher love.
Bring me a higher love. Whoa. I put way too much ice in my gin and tonic. It's so diluted now.
Yeah. Common issue.
I did a little double though, because I didn't want to like have to get up and get another drink.
Yeah, I got a beer in the chamber myself.
Getting in all those jewel hits before the pod.
Yeah, I don't want to be ripping it too much during the podcast, even though I certainly fucking will. I'm going to run out halfway through, have to run across the street, get more pods. I have auxiliary SIGs at my wayside, so we're good.
Perfect.
Auxiliary SIGs. Bring in the
dude.
camels.
Plug a bid, dude. 3.5 millimeter camels.
Pass the aux.
Oh, man. I think I have like a few things to talk about this week.
Yeah, I got a couple too. I got one that you'll really enjoy too.
Well, I really want to know about your phone.
Oh, I'm going to talk about that too.
Okay,
for sure.
perfect. Because I got that fucking text out of the blue. I saw your thing on Facebook about it getting like run over or something. But,
Yeah.
But we'll save it. We'll save it.
Yeah, we'll get into it. Do you want to finish that before we go on?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Or I mean, like, I don't know. I can just like do it off and
That could
like,
also
off
easily be
camera.
a SIG too.
Yeah, true.
I mean,
It don't really matter. All right. So you said live.
yeah.
And then I'll say from the studio, American Laser.
Hey, I'm Jimmy Selesky.
And yeah, it's Monday night, 8 o'clock. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Thank you so much. 5th week in a row, baby. Quarantine week 6, I believe, right? Is it week 6?
Yeah, week 6, dude.
You all lost count. I didn't.
I did.
Unless I'm fucking wrong. I might be wrong.
I think it might be 6 because I think I was proud of myself for calling 5 last week.
Yeah, that was a good call. That was a good call. It's almost like it doesn't even feel real anymore. Just
Oh yeah,
we're
no,
just in it.
it's just normal life now. You know,
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Here we are. And as you know, dude, I've been fucking off the grid for the past, I want to say like 5 days, and it's been really nice. It's been really nice. I had
Well, so you're completely off the grid without your phone.
well, I was completely off the grid for like a couple days, and it was nice. It was cool. So basically, this girl at my job at Seasons Pizza tried to call out of work. So they called me to come into work, and they were like, "Oh, Julia has a flat tire," and I was like, "The fuck she does?" And so I was like, so I told Dom, I was like, "Text Julia, tell her to come over my apartment right now, and I will fix her flat tire." So she comes over, and I have a tire plugging kit. And she was like, "I went to 2 mechanics, and they both said they couldn't plug it because there's blah, 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 blah." And I was like, "That's bullshit. They're just trying to upsell you on tires." Because that's the thing about tires, too. It's like when you get one new tire, you kind of
You
have
gotta
to
get
get
4.
well, you have to at least
Or at
get
least
2.
2, yeah.
Because you have to have like the front or the back.
But they will say 4. And then also, I'm sure tires aren't really selling right now. So they're probably just trying to make a quick buck, dude. You know, they're trying to upsell her on the tires.
Yeah, they're trying to
said they
upsell her
couldn't
on
fix
tires.
the plug.
Yeah.
So you're
And so
like,
I'm
I have a
like-
plug kit.
Yeah. And of course, this is something like, so she comes over, we grab a couple Bud Lights, me and Dom go down there, we're fixing the tire. And of course, the mechanics didn't even bother looking at it. She had 2 screws in there. Only one screw actually went through the tire. The other screw was just kind of like in the tread. So we pulled out the screw, plugged it, and she was like, "How did you
Where
learn
the
how
fuck
to
was
do
she
this?"
driving?
Like a Toyota, like a SUV type of
I
situation.
don't know, but like, where was she driving? Where
I was-
2
yeah,
screws
I was
got
like,
in
where
the tire?
were you driving? Were you driving over a bed of nails? What were you doing? Probably
Yeah, did you drive through a Home Depot?
right as she's about to leave, I decided, like, I was like, "Oh, there's this like light post in the parking lot, and I'm like half autistic, so let me just stand on that while I'm talking to people." And for some reason, I decided to put my phone on the roof of her car. And like this is one of those moments in life where, like, even at the time I was like, "Jim, this is obviously not a good idea, and I don't even know why you're doing this or why this even makes sense." But I was wearing gym shorts, so I didn't have pockets.
Yeah.
So I just
let
put
me
it on
just
there.
do this and forget about it.
Yeah. And I knew I would forget about it too. I was like, "Jim, you're gonna forget about this."
Oh my God.
And so, of course, she's like, "Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for, plugging my tire, blah, 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 blah." Dom and I walk upstairs, and I get to my apartment door, and I realize I don't have my phone. And of course, at this point, she's already driven away and everything. And I'm like, "Dom, you got to call Julia and see what the deal, like if she sees my phone or anything." And so she's like, I was like, just ask, because I was like, I knew I left it on the roof of her car. And I was like, just ask her where she went. So he calls her up and she's like halfway home. She lives pretty close by. And so she was like, okay, well, I'll retrace my steps. So she's driving back and we're standing on the balcony looking. And Dom's like, oh my God, I see it. And my phone is just in the middle of Joppa Road. Like from the balcony, I just see his little black square and just cars just going ape
Cruising
shit
over it. Oh my
cruising
God.
over it, like, and I'm just like, this cannot be good. So you know, my brother
So
didn't
you're like,
tell
"Dom,
me at the
start-
time.
Try calling it, dude. Try calling it.
I call it. So I still didn't think it was gonna be fucked up because like this phone has been lasting me a long time. Like this phone I thought was invincible. I have like a case on it, which is like I've broken several phones because I decided not to get a case. I have like a half case on it, and this case has
Well, I
done
remember
wonders.
there's like a string of phones. You had like 3 phones in the span of like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm the worst. I drop. So she calls him back. She's like, yeah, I got it. She picks it up out of the road. I come down to meet her, and like her face was just like. And here's the funny thing about like, she's only like 20, and the generational thing, like she was mortified that my phone was broken. And of course, me, I'm so used to. So she hands me the phone. She's like, the screen is really bad. And I look at it. My phone is completely ruined.
Yeah.
And like,
There's tire marks all over it.
it was the worst. And she felt so bad. Like she literally like I was like walking out for delivery. And she was walking in. She like stopped me in the back hall. She's like, I just want to say I'm so sorry. I was like I guess if you're like 20, like losing your phone is like losing like your grandmother or something like that. I was
but
like,
also it's like, dude, just be like, don't worry, it wasn't an iPhone.
yeah, it wasn't. It was a Galaxy S something way too early. Galaxy S 2015. I don't even know what the hell it was. But like for me it was whatever. But so I made the decision to go and get a burner phone. And so I went to CVS, dropped like $20, got like $10 off on it. And I like my new number. I like it. And it's easy. It's like 410. It's a 410, which I've always wanted. I used to have a 410, and then my parents punished me in high school.
Are you sure?
I don't even know. Maybe it's a 443. All I do know is the last 4 digits are 2468, and I was like, I like that. I like that.
It's a 443.
What is it? 443. You can give away my burner phone number. I don't care.
Okay.
Call me up. I have no.
443-652-2468.
That's a good number, dude. That's a good number. But I'm only gonna have it for a little bit. And I go to my Google account, and like a bunch of my contacts aren't synced. Like I have yours, but I don't have Scott's. I don't have Dom's. And like,
Yeah, I was wondering how you got my number again, and then I was like, I bet like Dom has it, or
well, last time my phone kind of crashed, like the battery died, and I took it to the store. And every time my phone like malfunctions or I think it's broken, I have this like wave of realization where I'm like, you got to get your shit together because you might lose everything in your life is on your phone. And so the most recent time I decided to like actually activate my Google account, get the stuff synced, because there's nothing worse than when I've never just gone from a phone to another phone. Every time I've done that, it's been because I completely destroyed my previous phone or lost it.
And
like I've never had
like the only hurdle is like waiting 30 minutes for it to happen.
Yeah.
Like I don't really think I have any of my stuff backed up though, because it's fucking annoying. Dude,
you got to do it. There's nothing worse than losing all your contacts. But the thing is, there's no rhyme or reason to the way my contacts synced. Like I said, I don't have my brothers, but I have a person that I met like a month ago in there, and like Scott isn't in there. It's like I don't know why Google just decided I needed certain numbers or not. But like I also had like a bunch of like. Right now, I'm still in the middle of it. Like Gadget Guru has my phone, and I was trying to like extract the data from my phone via USB on my computer. But
so
like,
you couldn't take like there's like an SD card in there you could have taken out.
Yeah, I don't think that saves like my notes and my pictures and my voice recordings.
It does, dude.
Maybe. We'll see what the gurus have to say, dude. I don't know. But right now I'm trying to decide between just having them fix my current phone or getting another one. Because that's the thing. I go to the AT&T store.
Dude, wait, is it really repairable? Like, is it just the screen that's broken?
I think it's just, dude, that's the thing. It was still vibrating when people texted me. And I would still get like notifications. Like it was still working. Just the screen was completely busted. And
Jesus.
so I think
did they like just repave that road or something? Was it like extra flat?
Dude, Joppa Road, bro. Known smooth road, dude. The smoothest road in Baltimore is Joppa Road, bro. If you're gonna lose a phone and get it run over by multiple cars, do it there. But I think my phone is still salvageable. The question
Jesus
is,
Christ.
I go to AT&T, and this pissed me off because
Dude, okay, so wait, let me just hold up real quick. You said you took your phone to Gadget Guru.
yes.
You know you got to try to sneak the Wi-Fi.
I was, you are reading my mind, dude. I was thinking about, because I used to have it, and
Yeah.
then I somehow lost the code. I think they changed the code. But I think I'm going to, next time I'm in there, I'm going to sneakily, just like while I'm sitting there, just be like, hey, by the way, what's the password for this? So I can just chill on my phone while you guys are doing whatever.
While you guys are
And then I'm gonna
fixing
get
my
it.
phone.
While you guys are fixing my phone.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to like mentally take it down and just log it in at the studio. And we're good to go for another at least 8 months before they catch on again.
Is your
You'll be like, wait
burner
a second.
phone, is it just like a flip phone?
No, we have advanced so far in technology that my burner phone is almost borderline as good as my phone I already had.
So it has like a web browser.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Oh,
shit. Okay, so yeah, you can do the.
yeah. I
okay.
can still Snapchat.
I thought
that
you
was
were
probably
like
one of
on
my
a
most-
fucking. I literally thought you were on like a burner like flip phone,
Nah.
and you were asking for the Wi-Fi for that. I don't even think you can put
So are you
Wi-Fi
trying to get online
in
on a
those things.
Motorola Razor? Get the hell out of here. We are on to you, dude. We see exactly what you're doing. No, I have a nice touchscreen shindig and everything.
Damn,
and
that's sick.
But I go to AT&T. Okay, so this kind of pissed me off. So I'm trying to log into my Google account, right? After this whole thing happens, just to see if I'm eligible for an upgrade. And I type in my email and my password, and they're like, we just want to make sure it's you, so we sent a verification code to your phone. And I'm like, well, that's going to be a problem because my phone is completely busted, so I'm not able to actually log into my account. And so I get on the freaking like online chat thing with a AT&T person, and I'm on there for like an hour. They're like, "Oh, I'm going to transfer you this person. I'm going to transfer you this person." I couldn't believe how much of a deal this was. And so finally I get to Mila, and she's just like, "Well, there's nothing we can do." I'm like, "You're telling me there's no way for me to access my Google account without you guys sending me a verification code? You can't send it to my email. You can't just override it. There's nothing I couldn't believe it. It doesn't make sense to me. And I know there's probably a reason for that, maybe, but it just seems odd to me. Like
Wait, do you mean you couldn't get into your like AT&T account, or do
yeah,
you mean
I'm
you
trying to
couldn't
log
get
in from my
into your-
computer. My like AT&T.
But do you mean you're like, if you're talking about your Google account, that's like linked to your email?
Yeah, I mean, but like I don't know how droids work, but like when I log, it's called My AT&T, and that's like your account, and it syncs through Google, so it like syncs your calendar and your contacts and all that stuff. And I'm trying to log into it. I'm trying to actually log into my AT&T account to see like if I'm eligible for an upgrade. That was my main reason for doing it, because I didn't want to go shopping for a phone and then find out that I had like a free phone eligible, because I've had this one for like 5 years. So I figured like
Yeah,
I gotta
you
have
probably do have
something
an upgrade,
available.
dude.
And they couldn't even tell me. I was like, all right, if you can't even log me into my AT&T account, can you at least just tell me if I'm eligible for an upgrade? Can you look at my nothing, dude? She just started ignoring me, and I was being like super polite. I was like, can you do this? I couldn't believe how difficult it was. So I just decided, you know what? I'm going to go to the AT&T store myself after work. I go there, and he's like, okay, so cool. I just checked your account. You are eligible for an upgrade. So he takes me over to the phones, and I'm looking at like a Galaxy S10 and S20. I think they just skipped from 10 to 20 now. They came out in the same
Jeez.
year. And it's weird. Phones are getting bigger, dude. I don't know if you noticed that, but they're getting, I was looking at these phones. I was like, dude, I don't even know if that's going to fit in my pocket. And maybe they don't. Maybe because people now they're always on their phones. Like there's no reason to make it pocket size anymore. It doesn't even
Yeah.
matter. Like you're never gonna put
it's
this
like,
down.
It's
bro.
like phasing out like the iPad. Like
Yeah.
you don't need an iPad anymore because your phone is just like almost as big as like one of their minis. You know, like
yeah,
an
it
iPad
just
mini.
it doesn't make sense to me, because I feel like for a while technology kept on making everything smaller. Like you started off with the original iPod, then it was the iPod Mini, then the iPod Nano, and the iPod Shuffle, and it just got down to like flash drive size. And now phones are just getting like pretty soon a phone's gonna be a freaking laptop again. Like it's just
Yeah.
weird the way they're doing
Well,
it.
it's weird because it's just like it's kind of like TVs. Like phones went from like clamshells to like kind of like thick flat screens, and now they're just like trying to get thinner and bigger. It's like
Thinner and bigger and more breakable.
yeah,
And so he's like, yeah, you're eligible for an upgrade. So he takes me over, and I'm looking at these phones. The S10 is like $750. The S20 is like $1,000.
dude.
And
I think there's like a new iPhone that just came out That's only like $400.
Yeah, that's true. But I thought that an upgrade meant that I could just get another. Like the way he was pitching, he was like, "Yeah, so all you're gonna have to pay is like the tax on the phone." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And so I'm looking at it, and I'm like, and I'm looking at these prices, and they're like gargantuan prices, and I'm like, "So you're telling me like I don't have to?" He's like, "Well, no, we're just gonna tack it on your bill, and you're gonna pay it off over like 30 months." And I was like, "I thought you said I have an upgrade, dude. Like I thought I get this." He's like, "Oh no, I'm just saying like." I was like, I wasn't really ready to drop like $1,000. So he was like, "Oh, you're not dropping $1,000. You're not paying $1,000." I was like, "But yeah, I am paying
There's a
$1,000
payment plan."
Yeah, he was like, "But not today." I'm like, "Dude, what does an upgrade mean then?" I thought it meant like I at least get a discount or something. He's like, "Oh no, all that means when we say you're eligible for an upgrade is that you've paid off your other phone." I was like, that's like if I
Wait,
had
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I was
That's
like,
crazy.
dude, that's like if I had a car and I paid off my car and they're like, "You're eligible for another car." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Do I get a free car?" No, you just can start paying for another car now. That's not what he was like, "Oh yeah, it used to mean that. It used to mean that you could get another phone, but now it just means like, you paid off your other one." I was like, "I know I paid off my other one, dude." I couldn't. So I was like, "You know what? I'm just gonna take this to the store and get it fixed." And I was still kind of debating between like, should I get just like a slightly newer phone, like a used S8? I have an S6 right now. Should I just get an S8?
I think that's the one that blew up, so probably not.
Yeah. True. I don't need that in my life. And
yeah, fucking your friend drives over that shit on Chopper Road.
But like the screen repair is going to be like 180 or 200. A used S8s they go for around like 250, so it's still like $70 more. And at this point, I'm like, all right, I don't feel like spending $70 more to get a slightly newer phone that's still used, but also I lose like all my voice recordings, all my notes. I have like all my like gig information, my taxes and stuff like that. I keep all that in my phone. I have years of nudes I've worked hard for in there that I can't just give up like that. It was like, can I just sync my nudes to my other phone? Does that sync through? I don't know how that works. And so I think I'm just gonna stay with the phone I have. But they're working on it right now. Hopefully it's salvageable, but we'll see. But in the meantime, it's been fairly cool. I think there's a part of me that like that I also want to see the texts I've gotten for the past week. Like I think there's like every person is like slightly delusional. Like I'm just in my mind, I'm just imagining that every girl I've ever talked to has hit me up over the past week. And I'm gonna open my phone and be like, "Hey, daddy."
What's gonna happen? You get it. And all those vibrations were just emails or like calendar notifications you forgot to delete.
Yeah.
Like 2 texts.
AT&T.
One from like me.
Your payment. Yo. There's gonna be a bunch of yos from like you, Lucas, the band. Like I'm imagining the most ridiculous shit. I'm imagining like I heard your song on the radio. Yo, you got promoted to the job you don't even have. Like all kinds of crazy shit.
Jay-Z's tweeting about you.
Yo, you're trending right now, bro. Holy shit. Your phone has been broken for 2 days. You have blown up. But instead, no, I got my burner phone 2 days later. I log into Snapchat. Not a single missed Snapchat. I thought it was a glitch.
Damn.
I thought it was a fucking glitch. I was like, nobody's
Are you still heavy on
Snapchatting me?
Snapchat? I don't really Snapchat anymore.
I'm not heavy on it, but like, you gotta imagine over the course of 2 days, I might get one or two.
What, from like Team Snapchat? That's like all I got Snapchats
that was the only Snapchat I had was from Team Snapchat.
Dude, I
was
got
like, bro,
Snapchats
really?
from like Team Snapchat and Dan, I think.
Dan's a big snapper,
and every once
dude.
in a while, maybe Matt.
Yeah. Matt Lynch?
No, Eichholz.
Matt Eichholz.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah, I
Matt
haven't,
Lynch, he's fucking flexing, showing off his guns. Dude, he's ripped now.
Yeah, dude. But so I think I'm gonna get my phone back either Monday or Tuesday. Get back into it. But it's weird how you don't realize how connected you are to it until you lose it, and then you're like, I was like literally sitting there just like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? My phone is broken, and turns out not that big of a deal.
Over to like damn, maybe it's good that I was like weaned off this a little bit.
Yeah. It was like partially like there's so many times like my first night that was broken, I kept on having these like compulsions to like grab my phone and start fucking with it and just like playing chess or watching a video or like browsing Twitter.
Checking
and then I realized,
your
I
pocket
can't
or
do
some
that.
Shit. Have you had
So
any
instead I
like
just
phantom
laid there.
vibrations?
Yep. So instead, I just laid there. Actually, I thought I was experiencing phantom vibrations, and that's how I realized that my phone actually was vibrating. I thought I was going crazy.
Whoa.
I thought I was going insane, and I kept on hearing. I had my phone in the console of my car as I was driving around for my delivery shift, and I kept on hearing stuff. And I was like, "Jim, you're losing it. You are losing
Did
it."
you have to take her shift anyway, or were you already gonna work?
No. This is the next day. I had to work.
Okay.
But the thing is, we do everything like over the phone now. So they have like an app for delivering. So like they
fuck.
sign shit on the phone, and you like it gives you like map directions.
Someone sign your shitty broken glass screen. It like
fucking
cuts all over their
dilapidate their
fingers.
finger. Oh
There's
my God.
COVID all over it. Just COVID
Yeah.
blood soaked.
I stopped handing my
broken
phone to
glass.
people, but yeah, it's been ass. It's been ass. But we're getting it back, and I think I always, whenever this stuff happens to me, I always find a way to like justify it in my mind so I don't absorb it as like a major fuck up, even though it is a major fuck up. And I was just like, you know what? Everybody needs a backup phone. I have a backup phone now.
Yeah, dude.
You know,
2-phone gym.
2 phones. I feel like a plug now, dude. Call people. I texted my mom because my brother and I were working the other day. He's like, "Jim, text mom. She keeps texting me saying you're not texting her back." And I was like, "Well, did you tell her my phone's broken?" He's like, "I'm not gonna be your freaking messenger, bro. Just text mom." I was like, "Dude, how?" And so I text mom. I text my mom, and she's like, "I'm like, this is Jimmy. Phone broke. This is my new number for the next like week." And she's like, "If this is really Jimmy, then where did we go in 2007?" And I was like, I texted her, I was like, "Mom, I don't know. I don't know where we went in 2007. She was like, "All right, good enough." Because the real Jimmy wouldn't know.
Perfect. Mother knows best.
Yeah, she was like, my real son would never know something we did important as a family, like go to freaking
Either
Greece.
like remember something very oddly specific, or not know. Hell
Yeah.
yeah. She texts you that and then just like, "Dom, where'd we go in 2007?
Tom texts my mom. "Mom, Jimmy wants to know where we went in 2007.
See, I mean, both ways would have worked.
I mean, it's all functional, dude. It's all functional. But I was forced to deliver stuff without a map or anything, and I was amazing at it, dude. I was like delivering pizzas like they did in the 90s.
Well, I mean,
can't
'cause
believe
you
that
were,
shit.
you were even talking about that pre your phone breaking, where you're like, yeah, they have this app now, but like, you know, I know all these streets, so I look, I put the delivery in, and then I don't,
And I don't
look
like
at
using
it.
the app. I hate the app.
Yeah. So I mean, it kind of doesn't really hinder you at all.
Yeah, it doesn't, because I'm so used to already not knowing where I'm going with all
Dude,
the
you're-
world's information at my
You're
disposal.
just nostalgic for old school pizza deliveries.
Yeah, dude. I'm an old school delivery guy, dude. I drive
Yeah.
around blaring Nirvana.
I don't need an app. Blaring Post Malone's cover of Nirvana.
Yeah, exactly. People are like, "This guy is a classic delivery guy. He looks like a real piece of shit." And I respect that, because that's what I expect out of my delivery drivers.
Damn, does he have 2 phones? That's crazy.
This is a real delivery driver. This guy does not have his life together. That's exactly how it should be. And it only took me 2 weeks to become a full-blown delivery guy.
Dude,
I'm
that's
already
so sick.
I'm already that guy at work who just I've had to re-explain why I work at Seasons at least 7 times since I've been there. And now like the person that I've already explained it to will overhear me explaining it to another person. I just know in the back of my mind, like, this guy is so full of shit. This
Yeah.
guy is
It's like,
this
wow,
guy
this
was
is
never
so
a musician.
rehearsed.
Yeah. This guy came in here with one plan and one thing only, and that was to pretend like he's a musician.
Oh God, what did his younger brother rapping make him want to do music?
But yeah, it's been cool. It's been fine. It's been fine. I delivered White Claws to a literal high schooler today. I didn't care. She had the audacity to open
Allegedly.
the door with a Towson General sweatpants.
Oh my
It's
God.
like, jeez Louise. It's like, where's your mom?
All right, either you're in high school or you're fucking a high schooler.
Yeah.
Both of these are wrong.
Both
But
of these are wrong.
here you go, allegedly.
Yeah. So it was just a weird situation. Like it was obvious. It was an obvious situation where the mom was buying alcohol for her like kid and her friends to drink. And I was like, whatever. It's White Claws. I don't foresee me ever being that kind of parent that's gonna buy alcohol for my kids. But like, the mom just like pretended she was asleep or whatever, and the girl, I was like, I need to see somebody with ID. So she just comes back with her mom's ID. She's like, my mom's asleep, but here's her ID. And I was like, I'm sorry, as much as I literally don't give a shit at all, I can't give you this unless your mom comes up. Her mom comes up, complete like piece of shit type of person. And it's just like looking at the phone and it's like, I was like, okay, so you just need to fill this out and sign here. And like the first page is like the tip page. And she's like looking at it. She's like, so where do I sign? And I was like, oh, you just need to go where it says no tip. And then she's like, okay. So she hits no tip. And I was like, all right, now you need to confirm no tip. Just press okay for me. Just confirm that you're not tipping me.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right. And she
And
does it.
there's a big asshole button there that says confirm no tip. I'm a cheapskate, bad
Yeah.
parent.
See that button that says go fuck yourself? I just need to press that button real quick and then sign. Sign. Oh, that's what they need. Like when you go to this store and there's like you're like, would you like to donate to the hungry today? And you're just like, no. And then it's like,
You're like, yes. And then you swipe a Reese's and throw it in your pocket.
I just want that for that app. Just be like, would you like to tell your driver to go fuck himself? Yeah, press here. Perfect. All right, now sign. And I'll just drive home in the rain after selling alcohol to your 16-year-old daughter and just feeling so great about myself.
Jeez.
Perfect. Yeah. So, but that's been life lately. I finally applied for unemployment, dude. The website was up. Took me a full day to do it because every page takes like 45 minutes to load.
Yeah.
Which is just
I had to like transfer my account to that website, and it was brutal. It took me like an hour, and I already had like everything set up. I just like had to go through like 2 forms.
It's beyond imaginable how like I'm having it part of me, I want to like sympathize with it and be like, okay, they're obviously dealing with a lot, but like there's certain things that just don't make sense to me. And it's like, all right, obviously when you made the call a month ago that you were going to shut shit down, there had to be some kind of conversation where you understood what was going to happen when you did that, right? Like I would imagine nobody just thought, oh, we're just going to shut down all businesses and nothing's going to happen. So you would imagine that like when somebody makes a call like that, there's somebody there going like, hey guys, you know what we should do before we call for everything to shut down? We should probably prep for this a little bit. Don't you think? Don't you think before we shut everything down, maybe we should start working on that website? Maybe. I don't know. Seems like a logical thing to think about for me. But they didn't. So of course, 5 weeks later, the website finally goes up, and it's just kind of one of those situations where it's like, hope you've been good, dude. I hope you've been all right. And then once the website does go up, it's literally the worst website. It's like, who is making this shit?
Yeah.
How
it's
incompetent
crazy.
can you possibly be? I work at a pizza place, and we have the capacity to put somebody on hold. You're the Maryland State Unemployment Agency, and I call you and I get a busy tone like I'm calling somebody in 1997. It's amazing how incompetent they get away with being. I mean, I just can't help but think how it's unbelievable to me. It is. But of course, finally I get everything through, and now I'm happy because now I almost feel like I'm cheating the system a little bit because I feel like I'm getting way too much money. And apparently that's been a thing where like, because I don't know what your situation is, but like I get like $100-something from state unemployment, but I think they like tack on an extra 600 or something from the federal.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm making like $700-something a week. I haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah.
But and
you also-
working
Yeah,
pretty much full time.
You gotta claim because like you gotta every week do like a certification or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to claim that like you were working at Seasons or whatever.
Yeah, and I've been doing it, and it doesn't seem to make a difference. I was like, yeah, I worked literally 36 hours this week. They're like, all right, cool, here's your 7. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like that's definitely some type of oversight there. I was hearing on the radio that apparently it's a really big deal because when they passed that Paycheck Protection Program, which was when you were talking about it before, and I didn't quite understand what you were saying before, but I finally grasped it when you were saying like, oh, these loans might be grants or whatever. So apparently the way it works is that when businesses apply for these loans, I think there's a certain percentage threshold. I think it might be around 65 to 75%. If they use 65 to 75% of the loan money that they acquired from whatever towards paychecks for their employees, then that loan becomes a grant. So basically, these businesses get this loan, and they basically have to find a way to use a certain portion of that specific portion towards their employees, and that way they don't have to pay it back. But the problem is that they never introduced they tried to introduce an amendment which was going to say that unemployment benefits would be capped at whatever you were making while you were working. So what's going on right now is they didn't pass that amendment. It never went through. And so now there's a primary for people that basically people are making, there's a lot of people, including myself, that are making more than they were when they were working. And so now there's a big conflict between the businesses and their employees because their employees are like, dude, I don't want to work right now. I'm making more money by not working. So now people don't want to work. And now the businesses are sitting there like, well, we need you to work because we got this loan. And the only way we can not have to pay it back is if we pay you, but you don't want to work. And so now we're saddled with this loan because we had to pay this out or else we had to pay it back. And now everybody's fucked.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if they don't have to pay payroll, they can just use that money to pay off the loan. But
True. Yeah, true.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of look at it as like, I don't know. It's definitely helping people, and it's like making a bad situation a little easier.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you could also even look at it as like the government's paying me more to stay home.
Yeah, true.
And that's probably better for at least like the immediate whatever crisis stage we're on right now. I forget.
I mean, I thought it was crazy.
Threat level like purple yet or I don't know.
Purple, code orange. I thought it was crazy when my brother was telling me about it. I thought it was like a mistake, and then it happened to me, and I was like, dude, this is happening for everyone. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, Hogan went on and said they're introducing like some kind of like plan where it's like a phase plan where it's like phase 1 they're thinking about in like early mid-ish May, where they're gonna start like they're gonna lift the stay-at-home ban or the stay-at-home order so like people can leave their houses or whatever, and then like and then they said something like we're not gonna get back to normal until there's a vaccine, and that kind of scared me because I was like, well, Jesus.
Interesting. But, it sounds like we're getting back to normal once it starts getting warm out.
Exactly, because that's what I'm kind of hoping.
The flu hates the warm.
Dude, Hogan loves Ocean City. That's a known fact. Hogan loves Ocean City, and there's no way Hogue Dog is gonna let Ocean City not. Dude, you realize how much that would affect?
Dude, Hogan is craving Thrashers right now.
You know Hogan loves Thrashers. Dude. You can look at him and tell that man loves Thrashers and funnel cake. And
he's not going to but he looks like a potato.
He loves Thrashers. That's a known fact. Can't even debate that. But here's what I was just thinking about just now as I'm speaking. Remember how big of a thing it was when Maryland decided to extend schools reopening past Labor Day? And how everybody was like, this is crazy for some reason, even though we did this forever before this. He did it for Ocean City to get like 2 more weeks out of the Ocean City boom. And now... You think he's going to let the whole summer go by without people on the board?
Dude.
There's no... Ocean City
Hogan
is
has
like a
too many
huge...
connections in Ocean City.
Yeah, he's got too many... Yeah.
His hands are tied. He must open the beach.
He's never gonna be able to be seen at Fager's Island again, dude, if he doesn't reopen.
They're gonna take away his VIP table at Secrets if he doesn't open the beach.
So that's what I'm really hoping for, dude, because I just couldn't imagine if we skipped summer, dude. I almost feel like now I'm being cheated out of life, dude. I'm like, dude, I can't. Like, I'm 27, bro. I can't. I'm gonna turn 28 in August, and like, there's only so many more summers that I can just willy nilly go down to the beach and just be like a regular dude and not be weird. And like, this is one of my last ones, you know. So, lift the band,
if you look at it like that, man.
I guess, which is how I'm looking at it, obviously, because I'm toxic.
Toxic, bro.
Yeah.
Are you a Bernie bro?
I wish, dude. I wish. Oh, I finally got my stim. I haven't gotten it yet, but my mom texted me in the morning. I love having a mom. They're the best. She texted me. She was like, go to this website and do this. And I go to the website. They're like, oh, you're eligible. We just don't have enough information to direct deposit into your account. I was like, interesting, because you had enough information to take money out of my account for literally everything ever. When I owed you money for this and taxes and that and traffic tickets, you had all the information you needed, dude. I didn't even give you any information. You just found a way.
Found it out, yeah.
You were just called up M&T.
Strange how that works.
Yeah, weird. Oh, what else did you need to give me money? Like, we just needed, we need to send you a text verification and your phone was broken, so we just figured.
Damn.
We just figured, we'll just let you come to the grips with that. But so I finally got it figured out, and I guess that's coming in the mail soon, or down the pipeline.
We'll
see. Perfect. So I just started Google ads for our videos because I don't know what else to do with all this fucking money, baby. Starting to advertise videos.
I spent my Trump money finally. I spent the stimulus money. I bought a new computer.
Nice, dude.
I'm making it happen, dude.
Sick.
So I have this new computer. Now I have like 2 older machines that I'm gonna like make into one good one to be the studio PC when we're back up and running.
Nice. That is so necessary.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm stoked about that. Yeah, dude, I feel like as long as I'm investing in we're investing in the business, bro. It's about time. It's about time. And the way I look at it is like, really, I'm just getting all the money back that I've spent in traffic tickets and random speeding cameras and shit like that. Like,
oh yeah.
If I were on unemployment for like 4 months, I would break even from all the money that I've had to pay for stupid shit. Not even taxes, just stupid bullshit that I've done over my life.
When I had to change over my account, I finally saw an option for them to tax whatever money they're sending me, and I clicked that option finally.
Oh, really?
So now hopefully they'll start taking that money out, so I don't get fucked.
Yeah, I think I didn't click that. My mom told me not to. I didn't ask why, but I just didn't.
Yeah. I mean, like, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not ignorant about it. Like, most of the money's going to go in my savings anyway.
Yeah,
I'm already used to the idea of not getting money back for taxes, so I always have a certain amount saved up because I anticipate having to spend that amount anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
But also this year could be a lot different because a lot of money is being withheld from my paychecks from seasons. So there's a likelihood that, like, for 2020... I might not have to owe that much because they already have so much of my money that they've been withholding from seasons. So that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
That'd be sick.
I saw another interesting study this week that I thought was really kind of ties back into what we've been talking about for a while. They did a study in Los Angeles County, some of you may know as LA, and they found that 4-point-something% of the people in that county had the antibodies for coronavirus, which the only way that you acquire those, that means that 4.5% of the people in that county have been exposed to it and have had it and just gotten over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which accumulates to about 400-something thousand people. And they only had like,
Christ.
400-something thousand people had the antibodies, and they only have in that county like something like 17,000 confirmed cases. So, I mean, this would be the obvious logical. We've been talking about it for weeks, and pretty much I think any reasonable person would understand that, like, our number of confirmed cases, its limiting factor is the fact that we haven't been able to test that much, Yeah. So like the amount of confirmed cases almost means nothing to me when I look at that. I've always speculated that the coronavirus has spread way, 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 way further. And this most recent study released by the Department of Health in LA County said that, the reality, based off this sample size, that this virus could have spread about up to 50 times. I think it was like 20-something to 58 times further than what our testing has suggested.
Jeez. Well, shit, no wonder there's so many like weird variations of it that have been popping up.
Which also is good news too, because if that's the case, which I don't see why, I mean, if that's what they're finding, that's what it is, that lowers the death rate to like really low. Because right now the death rate is calculated off of the amount of deaths
known cases,
over known cases. But the amount of known cases is like literally 1/50th of the amount of people that have actually had it. So that lowers our death rate to some, I think, I was doing the math, and I saw somebody else doing the math and just watching random YouTube videos and shit like that. It's like something below like 0.4% now.
which, you know, that's good news. I feel like for some reason people get mad if they hear that, but I look at that's good news, dude. Did you want it to be higher? You know, makes sense to me.
Yeah. It's kind of weird because, like, I don't know like, what the play is right now. Like, I don't know what, like, because I feel like people are trying to, like, I've seen a lot of, like, articles. This is, like, my conspiracy mind working right now.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, this isn't, like, anything to, like, base an argument on or
Yeah,
anything.
neither of us have the
but,
answers.
like,
Just preface it with that.
like, they keep trying to push this past week, like, how bad it's going to be next fall.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you think that's because they're kind of starting to figure out, like, it's not as bad as it's gonna, like, they thought it was gonna be? Because they've changed, like, the models, like, a ton since they all first came out.
Yeah.
Which, like, you know, the projected deaths have gone down, like, a very decent amount, and, like, people attribute that to, like, social distancing and stuff, and, like, that's, you know, that's definitely a good thing. But at the same time, are they now realizing, like, that thing you said about in California, like, have a ton of us already had it? Like,
Yeah.
is it really not that big of a deal? Are we, like, overblowing this right now? All right, so switch to next year. Like,
Yeah.
we may be beating it now, but next year it's going to be bad. So keep watching Fox or keep watching CNN or, like,
Oh, I think that's
we'll let you know about
completely-
what happens in the next 4 years of Corona.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's completely. I think it's less likely that that's not the case. I think there's a lot of people. I think.
I mean, but
if,
also, I don't know. I still don't know what to think, too, because, like, I was watching the Corona shit, like, happen in China, like, in, like, I was watching it since, like, December or January. And, like, but for whatever reason, I still never thought it was gonna break out of China, like, stupidly. I was like, that's, you know, what? One guy's gonna bring it over here and then fuck everyone over? And it's like, yeah, that's
pretty
gonna
much.
happen. But, yeah, I don't know. Because, like, I know that it's not, like, something to, like, you know, not take seriously, because I, like, was watching, like, surveillance video of, like, people just, like, throwing up blood in China and collapsing dead. And it's like, you know, people were saying, like, that was an old video, but still that freaked me out to be like,
Yeah.
shit, is this what's actually happening? Like, is this biological warfare? Like, what the fuck's going on? So it's like, I'm totally not at the level as, like, the Vegas mayor or, like, the Florida mayor, where it's like, we need to open back up right now. Like, we're losing out on business. And yeah, I understand that people are losing out on business. Like, I'm losing out on business. I'm unemployed right now. Like, I totally get it. It sucks. But, like, I don't know. I think what we're doing right now is at least better than fucking everyone over by opening up again.
Yeah, but I also think there's a lot of.
But I
there's
do think it's not as bad as people are saying it is.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. You know, and I think there's a lot of agents. I think the World Health Organization, they kind of piss me off a little bit, because it is true that, like, they were kind of spouting a lot of shit from China, like a lot of information that was dishonest. That they, I mean, in January,
Japan called them out.
dude, in January,
Japan was like, call it the Chinese Health Organization.
pretty much, dude, in January, they were literally saying that there was no evidence of human-to-human transmission. They tweeted it out.
Oh, they're saying it wasn't airborne for a while.
Yeah.
And now
And-
they're finding it that it, like, is just living on air particles.
Yeah, even though they were getting direct evidence from Taiwan, who they don't acknowledge. I think one of those the craziest videos that I've seen, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but, like, where that one World Health official from the WHO, when they asked him about Taiwan, and he just, like, disconnected the call and, like, tried to pretend that he didn't hear it, and then he reconnected, and she was like, "Oh, so anyway, I was asking you about Taiwan," and he was like, "I didn't hear you. Let's just move on to the next question." It was, like, the
it's
most
crazy.
blatant, like, it was wild. So, like, the World Health Organization was getting this information from China, saying there was no evidence. Meanwhile, they were also getting
then
information
like,
from
China
Taiwan.
had, like, doctors that, like, from China were sending out messages being like, hey, everyone, be ready for this. Because, like, I'm going to die
Yeah.
from this,
Well-
from treating people, because I don't know what I'm fighting right now. And then, like, China just like blackballed him, and then he died from coronavirus.
Yeah, well, there's the thing, and I think that a lot of people, and the defense is always going to be, you know, if this turns out, and I really don't think that this is going to get to the point. I think right now we're around 50,000 deaths total in the country, but we're also getting to like the peak. We're getting to like, and also if the studies that they're finding right now, which is that far more people have already been exposed to it, then based off of how much we think it's going to spread, it might have already spread way further, and it has obviously spread way further than our tests would suggest. So the forecast, you know, that it's going to peak way down the line, I think it's already starting to get to that peak, and so the likelihood
I think it already
is
stared to come down.
that
Like,
the death
'cause
counts.
I was looking at New York. I think New York was at like, I think it was like 2 days ago. I think it hit a peak of like, not a peak, but like it was at a high of like 74, and it was like 60 something like a day ago, and like I think 41 today the last time I checked or something.
The death counts are not gonna get to what the models were projecting. A lot of the
And
models
not that
were
that's not like
no, that's a great thing.
crazy amount of deaths. Like that's a wild amount of deaths for just a flu
Well,
in
it's
like a day.
It's a crazy amount of deaths,
And
but
not for
also
like a nation's total. It's like
Yeah.
within probably like 2 boroughs or whatever.
dude, it's like I
whatever
mean New York City,
calls
and I'll
themselves.
be honest, dude. As much as I admire Governor Cuomo to an extent, he's kind of starting to piss me off recently.
His big nipples, dude.
Primarily that, yeah. But it's just like I saw like some clip of him where some reporter asked him about like, okay, this, that, the other thing. What are we gonna do about like people out of work and things like that? And he was like, well, if you're out of work, just get a job as an essential worker, you know, blah blah blah. And they're like, well, people aren't hiring right now, like blah blah blah. He was like, "Yeah, bullshit, blah blah blah. There, you know, you can just get a job, and it's weird,
Just get a job. Become the mayor.
dude. It's weird
Sell
because
hand sanitizer that prisoners make.
it's
Get
weird
a
how
job.
it's weird how quickly people revert to that whole, like, you know, the same people that would never use the bootstraps argument in regular day-to-day life are all of a sudden like, well, if you're suffering now, go fuck yourself, you know, blah, 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 just get a job. It's like, yeah, dude, I'm going to go get a job when literally 1/3 of every business in the country has been forcibly shut down. I'm sure there's plenty of businesses that are hiring right now, even though they're not allowed to operate. I'm sure I can just go get a
Yeah.
job anywhere, you know.
I mean,
In New York, we're...
I think the thing that just bugs me about the Cuomo stuff now is like it just seems too political. Like it's too obvious that he wants to run for president next time around.
Absolutely. And it's also, there's a part of me that's thinking like, dude, like, you realize that like
And it's
1/3
also kind
of
of
the
fucked up to be like, oh, you're going to use a global pandemic to start your presidency campaign.
dude, I wouldn't be
Interesting.
surprised if they tried to fucking edge him in this
Throw him
go
in
around. You know,
for Biden.
I
Have
think the
Biden
Democrats are probably a little
mysteriously
scared. Yeah,
moved to Israel.
yeah, exactly. I
with
wouldn't be
his buddy
surprised if they tried to
Jeffrey
throw
and
him in.
Ghislaine.
Honestly, they'd probably have a better shot. You know, I think that he's definitely used this as whether for good or for worse. I mean, I'm not saying that he's completely off the mark. I think he's done a lot of good things, but also he's getting to the point now where it's kind of annoying me because there's a part of me that's just like, dude, you do realize that like New York, your own state, is responsible for like 1/3 of the deaths across the entire country. So like, we have a guy in Maryland, Governor Hogan, who's also getting national attention. They talk about Larry Hogan a lot, but like Maryland's doing pretty good. There's other states that are doing fucking sweet. And like, meanwhile, the leader, the face of the opposition is the guy who's technically by the numbers doing the worst job. I mean, literally, New York is doing the worst out of every state, but for some reason he's the voice of reason, you know? And I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm just saying, like, you know, you got a guy down in Georgia who they're doing good, and he's getting all kinds of negative attention for trying to reopen. And it's like, dude, like, he's not even like at a percentage of the amount of deaths you have in your state, dude. Why does he have to play by your rules? You know, I'm not saying he's right or wrong. I'm just saying, like, you know, give it a rest for a second, bro. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That shit with the Las Vegas mayor was wild, though.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's
Where she was like advocating opening casinos again, which is like basically just a cruise ship that doesn't move. Like,
pretty
just
much.
like air circulated upon air circulated upon air of all the gross people in there, and also like cig smoke and people throwing up from the free drinks. And
I think one of the main takeaways from this entire situation, and I don't know if this is possible, maybe it isn't, I don't know, but now that we've had it happen, you know, I think that in the future, I think that there's been a lot of cases throughout history where something this bad or worse, and it's not even I think, I know for a fact that things this bad have happened in the past, obviously, where the government did nothing, and now we're all of a sudden out of nowhere taking this major step, and this definitely will become the new standard for how we handle these things in the future. But with that, I think that a little less power should be given to the government in that, and I think I wouldn't be opposed to at a certain point, you know, if you could involve the people in this decision making process. Like, why shouldn't the people of a state be allowed to make that decision? Given the information, at a certain point, just stop saying, okay, we're just going to be completely subjected to whatever our governor says we need to do. Maybe at a certain point, if this goes on for another month, you should allow the people of a certain state to say, hey, look, we've been doing this for 2 months. Here's the situation we're in. Let's put this to a vote. How many people want to go back? How many people don't want to go back? You know? I mean, I don't see why not. If you can educate to the public to a point where everybody has a voice, because right now, like I've been saying in the past, I feel like a lot of people don't have a voice in this, you know? And I think everybody's opinion and everybody's position in this situation should be heard out. So, you know, what the only thing that scares me about this whole situation is that, like you're talking about, like, oh, this could come around next fall. And who's to say next fall they don't just go, okay, guys, remember that whole thing we were talking about last year where he says, well, we're just going to shut down again because this, that, the other thing. And I feel like at that point, people should be like, hold up. 1 second. Before you shut down my business for another 2 months.
What if we take away all of the bullshit holidays people get off work for and we just get like a week off? That'd be sick.
There you go. I mean, something.
Just do that. Nationalize spring break.
Not a bad idea. Dude. Something. I just think the people.
Our quarantine remembrance every year. Just
Corona
like
week,
9/11, where you like take a pause, a moment to reflect.
A moment of silence.
You listen to the Pledge of Allegiance.
We just say the Pledge of Allegiance while we wash our hands and we move on with
an entire week.
for an entire week. I just think at a certain point, like, it's kind of like the whole thing, the way wars work, where it's like it used to be that, you know, if you were going to go to war, you had to like get the Congress to approve it. And then like for some reason within the past like 50 years, we just said, fuck that. Yeah, no way. We're just going to start invading countries and whatever. We're just going to do whatever. And then we'll just retroactively go back and be like, so how do you guys feel about that? Remember when we invaded Vietnam? How do we feel about that? Oh, you didn't like it? All right, we'll just stay there for another 10 years and then we'll pull out. Like, instead of doing that.
Fucked up. So you know how Pornhub was doing like free premium during quarantine?
Mm-hmm.
I think they shut it off. I don't think they knew how long quarantine was going to last. Because I tried to log in the other day, which is like crazy that I've even come to this point where I'm logging into Pornhub. But the premium was too sweet to pass up.
Damn.
And I logged in and my premium was disabled.
Wow. That's going to be the beginning and the end, dude. Once
Congress
you take away
needs
people's...
to fucking pass free Pornhub for quarantine.
They're going to have to. You're going to have to do something to keep people
Something's got to happen.
Content, dude. Once Pornhub takes away premium, people are going to get... There's going to be a lot of unrest. A lot of unrest. I'm back to watching ads in my porn, bro. I'm going back to work.
Low definition porn.
This is bullshit.
Yeah, what the fuck? I'm not playing original Xbox. Fuck this.
Yeah, Pornhub might be the catalyst that we need, dude. Just start slowly stripping away stuff, dude. If they just decided, like, if liquor stores are just like, you know what, we're not selling booze anymore, then we'll see how long people are okay with staying in their house. We'd be open in 5 days.
Dude.
People would be like, this is bullshit.
Oh, so I didn't I mentioned it a little bit, but so I got my computer this week. I was gonna like order stuff online, but then I was like, fuck it. Like UPS and USPS have been fucking me over with all my packages. Mm-hmm. Like it's been taking too slow. I'm just gonna go to fucking Micro Center. So I ordered all my parts on their website, and it was like sick because you just like place your order, and then like check out, and then they'll send you an email when it's ready to pick up. So like ordered it around like 11 or noon. It was ready by like 1 to pick up. I drive out there, and before I drive out there, I'm like, oh shit, like if I'm going to use my card, I have to call the bank real quick because they have like a limit of like $1,000 or whatever on like transactions. So it'll just like decline.
Yeah.
So I called the bank and I was like, hey, like I need my limit like unrestricted for the next hour or two, blah, 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 blah. They're like, all right, cool. Give it like 6 seconds and it'll be ready. I'm like, whatever. I don't need it for like another half hour. So I start driving up there, get to Micro Center. I read online that like they had people checking you in at the front door. Like, and if there are too many people in the store, you'd have to wait in your car and then they'd text you to come in. But luckily no one was there. So I just walked in like right away.
Damn, you're lucky.
Yeah, I know. But that's like a weird store because the aisles are really tiny. So like I would occasionally have to like walk down an aisle. Someone would be walking down it the other way, and I'd have to like backtrack out of the fucking whole, like, you know, walk 12 feet for no reason. So I finally I get like this toolkit from one of the aisles. I go to pick up my internet order, and then they like bring it all out to a register, and they start like checking me out and getting all my information, and I'm like, okay, cool. So like I'll like I pay with I'll like show you my card I paid with online, I guess, right? And they're like, oh no, that's just like a deposit. We'll run it again here for the full amount. I'm like, okay, cool. So like tell me the total. I'm like, all right, sweet. Put my card in, and it's like, you know, boop, 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 debit, credit. I'm like, debit, bing, bong, bong, pin, starts authorizing, and then it shoots back to the screen with all the items on it. And I'm like, no. I'm like, I know I had the money in there. Like, I have like 3 times the amount of money in there that I need to buy this right now. I'm good. And I try it again. Nothing. Try credit this time.
There you go.
Nothing.
Nothing.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I got to call my bank again. So I like call my bank. I'm on hold. I get the same lady. And I'm like, I'm
Hey,
sitting
lady.
here at Micro Center and my card just got declined. And I called for help. And she's like, oh, I remember. I just talked to you. I'm like, I'm going to talk with Visa real quick. Let me put you on hold. And then the Micro Center lady starts talking to me like, my manager just walkied me and she needs me to start taking customers again. So then I put all this stuff into my cart and then just like push it next to her at the checkout. And then this like little old black lady comes pushing up her cart with like a printer in it. And she's like, I just wanted to get this, and do you think I need more ink? And then the lady's like, as she's ringing her up, like checking everything out, she's like, yeah, well, what are you trying to do? Like, it comes with a test ink set in there, so you can get a couple prints done, but you'll need an ink eventually. And she's like, I think I need, I don't know, I'm going to print about 50 t-shirts. I was like, what? Printing t-shirts on like an inkjet printer? So I'm just sitting there like befuddled on hold, just waiting for my fucking bank to make me not look like a loser again.
And then this lady
this lady comes
like
up.
a bigger loser.
No, not a bigger loser, but she just like comes up and is like doing the most. And like all the while, I'm finally getting through with my bank, and they're like, all right, we just talked to Visa. For whatever reason, they just had to refresh it again. You're good to go. I'm like, perfect. Hang up. And then the lady's like, can you get someone to get me more ink? And she's like, sure. So then like someone goes, gets her ink, brings it over, boom, bada boom. He like tags up the ink to get extra sales credit or whatever. That pisses me off at Micro Center. Anytime I'm doing anything in that store, I'll like pick up an item and a sales representative will come around the corner and be like, do you mind if I put my sticker on that? Because they get fucking like
Yeah.
sales shit on it, and it's fucking annoying because I know what I want. I go exactly to what I want. I grab it, and they're like, "Let me make a quick buck off you real quick."
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't
That's
do
whatever.
anything, but
Yeah. As long as it doesn't make it cost more.
it's like fucking reverse homeless people, dude. It's crazy.
Pretty much.
It's wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so eventually, she finally, after like 15 minutes, like, and there's, at this time, I'm sitting there with all my shit. Every other register's open. And none of the other people are like, I can help you with your shit over here, sir. So I'm just sitting here just waiting for this woman to finally buy her printer. And eventually she starts, like, she gets the total told to her, and she takes out her wallet and starts pulling cash out. And the cashier's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. We're only doing credit right now." So then her transaction gets voided. And then she has to go on the phone. It's like, "Can you send me some money on Cash App?" Blah, 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 blah. And then I'm like, "Please let me check out. I just talked to my bank. Hopefully I haven't been waiting here long enough for it to deactivate the no limit again. Please, let's do this quick." And I finally... So I finally like start paying for it. Goes through the first time, and she's like, "Do you want an email receipt or a printed receipt?" I'm like, "Do both. Like, I want to remember this moment." It finally worked.
I'm framing this receipt.
But also, I said earlier, I was getting those tools, and I was going to pay for the computer with one card and just get the tools with another one. And during the whole fiasco, I put the tools in my cart, and like all the while I was waiting there getting pissed off, like, "Oh, this take forever." I was like, "Ooh, but I did put the tools in the cart. Maybe she won't remember." And it was like a $40 like total multi-tool kit.
Mm-hmm.
I just got it because I was like, I'll eventually need all of these things, and I'll just have a good kit. And I was like, "Ooh, maybe I'll get this little 5-finger discount toolkit."
And
So,
that's
like,
fair.
And I'm like, "That's fair. You made me wait here and watch this printer sale go wrong."
That's one of those moments in life, and it happens. The older you get, the more. I think when you're younger, you're more like able to tolerate that shit because you're not quite sure how shit is supposed to be. But as you get older, you realize, like, you know, especially like, you know, if you've worked in the service industry, if you worked retail, you know how it's supposed to be. And so, like, there's certain things that just, like, piss me off to know that they're not doing it right, and that it's like I'm the one being like, little shit. Like, I called up a place, and I googled a phone repair store online, and I call them up, and it's like a 443 number. I call up, and it's just, "Hello?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is Jimmy. Is this like whatever repair?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Okay, so I have like a phone or whatever, blah, blah, blah." And they're like, I go through like a whole thing, and then he's just like, "Oh, yeah, dude, we're closed." And I was like,
Tell me that first.
first of all, like, that pisses me off because it's like, if you're running a store, you know, like when I pick up the phone at Seasons Pizza in Towson, "This is Jimmy. How can I help you?" Hey, that random number you called the right one. You're talking to the person that you expect to be talking to.
Hello?
Like, I just called up some dude at his house, and then he let me go through my entire story of plugging a tire and everything. It was like, "Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's not this number."
Like, what are you doing, bro? And that shit just pisses me off to no end. But there's also, I'm still not the type of person to be confrontational, so it's like, I'm not going to call him out, but I totally see where you're coming from, where it's like you're in the store. Like, even with that bank situation, that would kind of make me mad when the woman's on the phone with you and she's like, "I'm sorry, they're telling me I have to take care of customers."
Well, because
I'm sorry, I thought I was a customer.
I know, right? And
Am I not a customer?
No, literally, that was my mindset. Because I was like, dude, I'm probably your biggest sale for the next like Probably all day.
I'm trying to make over $1,000 transaction.
Yeah.
And you're telling, and I'm at the store right now looking like an asshole because my card just got rejected, even though I called you an hour ago to get it lifted.
Yeah, like
and
the
so
same
now,
person.
Yeah,
Like,
you already fucked up. This isn't like I just called you now as I was at the store and you're like, okay, sir, give me a second. You fucked up. Give me a second. I'll get right back. No, this is like, we fucked up. Sorry, but also, wait. As I take customers who are apparently more important than you, even though I'm literally on the phone with you right now, who is a customer?
Yeah.
And it's like when you're at Micro Center and they're doing all that shit too, it's like, are you the type of guy? Am I the type of guy to call out the cashier and be like, hold up, ma'am, I'm clearly being wronged here. Like, I should go first. You don't want to look like a dick, so instead you just make.
No, I totally at the like, you know, in the moment, I totally got that they like had to, you know, take it on their customer or whatever. But like, I don't know, like,
Well, no, but you made the
minute
right
15,
decision.
I was like, I remembered that I put that toolkit in the cart, and I was like, I
deserve this.
wouldn't hate if I got this. Yeah. But so I check out my computer and I pay for it, and then she's like, "Oh, and did you want to buy that toolkit too?" And I was like, "Fuck."
Actually,
Yeah.
I was hoping I could steal it.
I didn't want to say that, but like in my head, I was like, I don't know. I'm definitely not the kind of person that does that a lot either. But like, I don't know. I can't even remember the last time I stole something, to be honest. But in my head at that moment, I was like, this is something, if I didn't remember about it, like, I would have been like, ah, shit. Whatever.
Yeah.
So, like, once I started thinking about it, I was like, well, it's plausible. I already did kind of forget about it. I remembered, luckily, but also, if they catch me, I'll just say I forgot.
Exactly. And again, it's just
'Cause
one of those moments
technically,
where
I
it's
did.
like, I never go into a situation with a plan to wrong somebody. I've never gone into a store with a plan to shoplift or steal. I mean, maybe when I was like 17, I stole a Snickers bar at 7-Eleven or something, you know, like random shit. But I've never like done that kind of stuff because I've always, you know, even if I could get away with it, even if I can get away with certain shit, I just don't do it because I just think it's, you know, I do believe in karma to a certain
Just
extent.
kind of like immature, too.
Yeah, and I also feel shitty, and it's also like one of those things
Also,
where it's
you
like,
feel like a fucking loser if you can't afford
Yeah.
a 75-cent candy bar.
but like if I'm at Guitar Center and I'm standing at the register for literally, you can't, dude. I can't stand guitar. You walk in a Guitar Center,
Guitar Center sucks, dude.
and like you try to do you can't do anything Guitar Center in under 15 minutes. I mean, even when you do get your transaction, it's like, can I get your number? Can I get your? It's like, dude, can I just buy this? Is that possible? Can I just buy this? And it takes like 10 minutes even to get to that. There's always like some dude over there standing at the other register talking to somebody else, and it's like they see you and they still don't care and they just wait. And it's
Yeah.
like in those
Or
situations,
they always just smell like weed.
yeah, they just don't
That
care.
was when my brother got my rec player and speakers for me for Christmas. He went to Guitar Center to get that stuff, and he was like so pissed about the whole shopping experience.
Dude, it's the worst. And so now whenever I go in there, and it's not all the time, but in certain situations, and there have been plenty because I'm obviously there all the time because I have to buy all my stuff, picks, strings, shit like that, that like, yeah, if I'm waiting at the register for 15 minutes while a cashier is clearly able to help me and just is decidedly not, like he sees me there but he doesn't give a shit, I'm like, yeah, I might snag this pack of picks every now and then. I might snag the $6 pack of picks just as like I spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars here a month to the point where like, you know me, you say what's up to me, how you been, but like still you don't give a shit, and it's like,
yeah, you know I'm a regular, but you don't treat me like one.
yeah, you don't care. And so, but I'm okay with that because those are situations where like, if we were a different type of person, then we could confront them and be like, hey, listen, dude, I've been standing here at this register for 15 minutes. I've been watching you talk to them, and I've been watching you see me here and not care. And I have a place to be, and I don't have all day to wait for you to finish your conversation. So can you please ring me up so I can get the hell out of here? You could say that, and you would be right. You would be right. However, it's not worth it to me to introduce that to the situation. So instead,
Yeah,
I just keep
exactly.
a little mental calculator in my mind, and I go, okay, been waiting here 15 minutes. You know what? That cost you $6, bitch. That's a pack of picks. I'm walking out with it. You know what? If you catch me on camera, and they say, hey, man, we saw you on camera walking out with that pack of picks, bro. What's up? And be like, all right, why don't you rewind the camera 15 minutes and watch me stand at the register for 15 minutes straight? And then tell me you want those picks back. Please, please watch me.
Yeah, why didn't you
stand
catch
there.
it in the moment when
Yeah.
you were busy texting?
Dude, I registered for unemployment the other day, and I type in my address, and they're like, 204 East Chopper Road does not register with the U.S. Post Office. I'm like, you send all my traffic tickets there. You send my late notices for shit there. But it doesn't register when I'm registered for unemployment. It doesn't make. It's just like it's bullshit, dude. Pisses me off.
What does it think you are?
I don't know. I think it's just the site itself. It's like it's amazing to me how it just doesn't. Like I can't imagine a situation where, like, if I were to go on Geico.com and their site literally looks like it's developed on like a big boxy gray computer that we had on Computer Lab in like 1998, you know? And it's it's amazing to me that that's
going
the extent.
through the website is a job itself.
Yeah. It's like, dude, like literally I'm sitting there and like you click next and then it like page crashed and then you got to like refresh and then like you upload a document and it says like upload successful or upload fail, but it actually didn't fail. And it, like, then you refresh the page and it's just like so janky that you're like, I can't believe that like we pay people to do this. Like I am taxed. Money gets taken out of my check to go to these organizations and things like that. And this is what they're able to do. This is what they're able to do. These are the people that I want all of my livelihood and everything in my life controlled by. Fuck to the fuck no. This is embarrassing, dude. It's embarrassing. That site, I can't believe that after, again, it's all hindsight is 2020, but you know, when you make a call like that on March 15th, the fact that there was no anticipation of what might happen when you make a call like that, and it took you 5 weeks. And if it took you 5 weeks to make a website that was like good and intuitive and was like you were able to navigate it and it made sense, like that'd be cool. It's like, all right, it took you 5 weeks, but when you did get it up, it was dope. It took you 5 weeks to do something that like I could have paid Mihai to do in 2 hours. And that was the best you could do. That was the best you could do. And the best you could do still fucking sucks.
But hey, hopefully you get some money out of it.
Oh, I will. And
That's
that's another thing. It goes back to the conversation we were having. In this situation, I don't feel bad about the fact that technically everyone's kind of getting over on the system right now. Everyone's getting over on the system. And it's the same type of way I felt about my apartment building when I got stuck in the elevator and they found out that we missed a month of rent because of their mistake and this, that, the other thing. And like we eventually agreed to pay the whole thing, but then that happened and we went back and we were like, no, dude, you know what? At a certain point, I'm not just gonna cave. And if you were good at your job, like if I felt like you cared about me, if I felt like you valued my residency here, if I felt like you actually respected the fact that I was stuck in an elevator or were like remorseful about it or making an effort to make sure it doesn't happen again, then yeah, I wouldn't be as adamant on screwing you over. But since you're completely incompetent at your job and you suck and you don't give a fuck about what's going on, how it affects me, then you know what? I feel no guilt at all by trying to screw you over because you're trying to screw me over. You know? So when the government comes up with this unemployment shit and they were perfectly willing to shut down everything and be wholly unprepared to handle the after effect of what happens when they do that, then no, I don't give a shit that I'm making more money now off unemployment. I don't. That's your fucking problem, bro. You're the one who can't get a fucking bill passed to say that people shouldn't be making more money than they were when they were working. You know? You're the one who couldn't get that passed. And so now I'm making more money and that's your fault. You know what? That's on you, bro. Maybe this will be incentive to get fucking better at your job. You know, because if I suck at my job, I don't have a job. But when you're the government, you have no other choice. So that's why they fucking suck. Because what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Do anything.
On a lighter note,
That's where
I
they
thought
get
you would
you.
enjoy this. I thought you would wholly enjoy this. A couple of podcasts ago, we had a segment on lesser known racial slurs.
Yeah.
And the theme of that was that I was very perturbed that there was not a racial slur for Greeks. Very perturbed about that. But I was listening to a show last night. I was listening to a podcast, and a guy from New Zealand called in. and the guy who was running the podcast was kind of like riffing with him in a New Zealand accent, this, that, the other thing. He had been there before, and he was like, "Do you have any sea kiffers there?" And the guy was like, "Sea kiffers, blah, blah, blah." He was like, "Oh, no, that's what they call them in Australia." And fun fact, Australia is the second highest population of Greeks in the world besides Greece. A sea kiffer is a derogatory term for a Greek. A kiffer in New Zealand and Australia is their N-word.
Whoa.
And so they call Greeks sea N-words.
Oh my God. Dude,
Which
congratulations.
I was so
dude.
happy about.
Congrats,
I'm so
dude.
stoked about that. I like that.
Congrats, man.
I'm very happy.
I
Sea
can't-
kiffer.
I can imagine how happy you are.
It's weird that like I'm so
It's the little
elated
things,
to know that somebody took the time to find something that was like common among our culture and make a bad term for us. You guys are freaking sea kiffers. I love it. I love it.
I love it.
Great stuff. I had so I don't know how much carry out you've been doing lately. If you've been ordering,
I did one. I did one carry out this week.
Did
I
you
got
do no
Chinese
contact?
food on Monday. I took the bag from the guy's hand. Yeah,
Well, that is contact.
yeah.
No contact is when they leave it at your doorstep and knock and then sprint away before
Oh,
you
I thought
make
you.
contact.
I thought you said, "Did you do contact?"
Oh no! I was asked because like that's like a thing. No contact. The amount of
Yeah.
deliveries I get, I would say probably
Well,
one
dude,
in 3.
So this is something that happened with that I completely forgot about, but I've had it happen to me before. I think I've even talked about it on the podcast. I told you about that time that I got cheesies to my brother's place, and the dude was just like sitting on Joppa Road for like 10 minutes with my pizza on GPS. He was just sitting outside of an office building, like down the street, like pretty much like 2 buildings up from you on Joppa, like the one on the corner. I think there's like some residencies, but I think it's like an office building. There's like a garage underneath of it. The dude was just sitting. The GPS said he was there. I was watching it. Like, you get the notification. I usually get Uber Eats because it's like easy to track and like know when to get shit picked up.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I've had this now happen 2 times. The Chinese food, I saw it get picked up, and then I saw the guy come over near me on Roland, but then he just like shoots over, and then I see his car go into like the giant parking lot, and then I just see it like circling around the parking lot for like 5 minutes, and eventually I'm like, did he get lost? Like, what the fuck's going on? So I tried calling him on the app because I'm like, the last time this happened, it took like 15 minutes for this random guy to fucking give me my food. I didn't know what he was doing with it. So this time I was like, I'd rather not during COVID have some guy chill with my food
Yeah.
when he could just bring it here.
Uh-huh.
Like, what are you getting, coffee? Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck's
what you
going
doing,
on?
bro?
What are you doing? Are you going to the other Chinese food place over there to get like hot mustard packets? Like, what's going on?
They were out of chopsticks.
I try calling the guy through the Uber Eats app, and he starts calling, doesn't pick up. When the phone call cuts out, he doesn't pick up. It goes back to Uber Eats, and then I see his car just circle back around in the parking lot and then immediately dip out and start driving towards my house. And I'm like, what the fuck were you doing?
Oh my God, bro. That would light me up.
So the app, like, it shows that he's coming down my street. The app's like, all right, your driver's coming here soon, blah, blah, blah. So I start walking outside. I put like one rubber glove on to like grab the bag so I don't have to like touch it. And I like see him trying to get in through the front. I'm like, oh no, over here. And he like starts walking towards me. And I was like, yeah, it was weird. I saw you were in the giant parking lot. Did you get, like, were you lost? Or I tried calling to see if you needed directions to get it over here. And he was like, he just started laughing, like, ha, 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 hands me the food and continues laughing. So then there's, like, no room for me to say anything else. And he just, like, walks away. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, did you get lost? I kept trying to be like, did you get lost? And he's like, oh, no, ha, 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 ha. And
What
then
were you doing, bro?
I know. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" So I take my food up, and I like wasn't gonna go crazy sanitizing it, but obviously now I had to. So I
Yeah,
fucking
I don't trust this guy.
yeah. So I literally get containers out everywhere, where I'm just like, I take the food out of the bag, dump it into a container, throw out the package, take food out, throw it in the rinse, repeat.
Spray your
And-
food with Lysol.
I do wish I had a microwave though. I would totally nuke it before eating it if I had a microwave, but I don't
Oh
have
yeah,
one.
that would kill anything, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I might need to
Or
buy
just
a
put
microwave.
it out in the hot April sun and let it
Put it on
kill
my
off
radiator.
the coronavirus.
Put it on my radiator and crank the heat. But so that kind of put me off getting delivery because that was my first like jump back into getting delivery,
Yeah,
and I'm kind of turned off again.
not a good intro to it, dude.
I
Those
know,
those
dude.
freelance delivery guys, they don't have anything to worry about because they don't have to go back
Yeah,
to a
you're
boss at the end of
right.
at the end of the
You're
run and be
right,
like,
dude.
dude, what you took like 45 minutes to take that run, dude. Like, if I take too long for a run, they're like, where the hell were you? And I gotta be like, I was getting gas or something.
It's just easier with the app, dude.
It's
It's
easier
just
with the
easier
app.
to order with an app, and most like Chinese places don't have a website like Seasons does.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah. Plus, yeah, you're right. It's easier. My brother, we go puffed again. We wanted some ice cream.
oh my god,
We go puffed some ice cream. And my brother, for some reason, made it no contact, which, like, I don't like it. I don't like no contact. I feel personally slighted sometimes.
Where'd you have to go? Did he bring it up to your door, or did you
He
have to
brought
go
it up
all
to-
the way downstairs?
No, he brought it up to our door. My brother buzzed him in. And then he brought it
Okay.
up to the door. And, like, just my personal experience, I would say about 1 in every 3 deliveries that I take throughout the day is no contact, where, like, it just says on the ticket, like, leave it on the porch, leave it on the mat, leave it on the table on the porch or something like that. And it's just kind of like, it's really dumb to me. I really do think no contact delivery is stupid because, like, you drop it off on the porch and you knock on the door and you walk away, and then sometimes you can just see them, like, peering out the window to make sure you're gone.
Yeah,
And then, like, I just turn around. I'm like, all right, dude, I'm leaving. All right, peace. I'm out of here. And I go, and then they, like, creep out on their porch and, like, grab it and, like, scurry back into the house. I'm like, dude, I
that's
touched that
weird.
10 seconds ago. This is
Also,
retarded.
I'm 20 feet away from you now.
Yeah, it's like,
Nothing's
it's
gonna
just,
happen.
I take it a little personally. And I will say this, a lot of times, they'll put no contact, but then they feel weird doing it. So, like, there's been a couple situations where, like, the person comes out on the porch and they're like, yeah, could you just drop it on the porch now? And they're like, you know what, never mind, just hand it to me. I'm like, thank you. I think they just look at me, they're like, all right, you don't look like you
Well,
have
also,
coronavirus,
like, because also, like, the porch is probably dirty as shit too. Like, you got a
Exactly.
postal carrier walking all over it every day.
It
Your
just
dog's coming in and out of the house through it.
it makes no logical sense. I mean, I've been saying it forever, but you have at least 3 cooks involved, cooking your food. Then you have another person who packs it. Then you have me who drives it over in a car that other people have sat in that has had other people's deliveries in. And by the time it gets to your door, it's been touched by at least, I would say, 6 or 7 people. And then your main line of defense is to have me set it on your porch and then pick it up 5 seconds later.
Yeah,
It's
put it
so
on my dirty
stupid.
doormat.
Yeah, it's so stupid. So, like, my brother gets GoPuff, and he put in no contact because he's high and he doesn't want to have to speak to anybody or something like that. We were smoking weed. He just got weed, and so now we have actual, like, weed in our house. And so we got real high yesterday. Or not real high. We just got high enough to watch Saturday Night Fever and pass out. But he gets no contact, and the guy knocks on our door, and I open it, and I see him walking away. I'm like, Dom, what the fuck? And he's like, oh, I got no contact. I'm like, bro, the guy was just walking away like the way I walk away for a no contact, where I saw him and I was like, man. And so he's like, get out of here now.
Just the
So,
fucking Incredible Hulk outro.
It was sad, dude. And so he's walking down the hall, and I go, you know what, bro? I don't know if you read that ticket correctly. We meant yes contact, bro. Come here. And so he walks over, and I dap him up. I'm like, we just wanted it. He's wearing gloves and a mask. I dap him up, give him a hug. I'm like, sorry, bro. Sorry about that. And he was
Wait,
like, oh,
why
man, I
would-
didn't know. He was still taking me seriously. He thought I legitimately, specifically wanted contact When in reality, it was
dude,
obviously
he probably
a joke.
didn't want you to touch him though.
Nah, it was fine. He was cool. I couldn't see his face through the mask, but he was having a good time. It was fine, dude. It was fine. The guy walked 3 blocks with my food, dropped it on my doorstep. I'm pretty sure I can shake his hand. It's fine. And you know what? You know what? Say what you want about that, but the reality is that I'm driving around 8 hours a day, having a certain amount of people exchange food with me, touch my phone, things like that. I'm in a store with other people. I'm in contact with people. So to me, making contact with one other person, I don't care. I don't care. And that guy's doing the same thing. He's a delivery driver too. We're brothers in arms. That guy's making contact with people all the time. You know,
That's
we're both,
true, dude.
We're both carriers. Doesn't matter. Dap me up, bro.
You saw another veteran.
Exactly. If
You
it
get
was
to
a
pay your
person who's
respects.
not a delivery driver, I wouldn't dap you up because you're
Yeah,
isolated.
don't dap me
clean.
up right now, bro.
I'll dap you up right now, bro.
Nah.
Come
I'm not
on,
gonna
bro.
Let you. I'm not letting
Give me
you dap
some,
me
bro.
up.
This is
Nah.
Eric's hand, dude. I don't know if Eric sees. Eric,
bro.
woogity, woogity,
Nah,
woogity,
bro.
woogity.
I got my hands right here. They're right
No,
here.
bro.
They're right here. You can see them. You want to see these hands, dog? I'm
Damn.
not touching you, bro. I fucking see these hands,
Damn,
boy.
son. Damn, son.
See this shit?
Eric and I are about to get a virtual fist fight, bro, because he won't dap me up. I ordered yes contact delivery, dude. I want you to call for my food, dude. Trying to get them antibodies, bro. Trying to be over this.
Yeah, dude. Do you think we have the antibodies?
I am 98% certain that I have the antibodies for coronavirus, and I almost want to get tested just to prove it. I bet $100 I do.
That'll be your first stimulus pay, frivolous
spend
expense. $200 to get the antibodies test.
Yeah, that will be. 100% serious. I want to get tested just to prove that I have had coronavirus. I am a survivor of the coronavirus, and now I don't have to give a shit anymore. And then
Yeah.
I'll donate some blood.
Dude,
I'll give you
if
some of my blood. Actually, I'm
if
not giving you my fucking
If you
blood.
have the antibodies, you getting the test is like me getting the test. So that'd
Pretty
be
much.
sick for me too.
Actually, I don't know, dude. I mean, we haven't made contact in weeks. We're working
I
on
know,
completely
but-
different genome palettes at this point.
But also, it wouldn't have been sickness from the last couple of weeks.
Would it not have? It's been like
I
6
wouldn't think
weeks,
so.
dude. It's been 6
Have you been
weeks.
sick? Have you been sick in the last 6 weeks?
No.
Exactly. So if you have
But I was
the antibodies,
asymptomatic,
I
bro.
do too.
Dude, I was
Dude,
asymptomatic.
me too, though, bro. Dude, when you gave me this mic, when you dropped this mic off, I fucking kissed
True.
it, bro. Because I knew you kissed it before giving it to me.
Obviously, I kissed it, dude. I didn't know you were thinking along those same lines.
Dude, we were both seeing the same moon at night, looking out our windows.
Every night, I just sit on my balcony and make out with my mic, just hoping that you are too. Oh, man. What a time. What a time to be alive.
No.
Hopefully, we move into phase 1 in early May. They lift the stay-at-home order. It means people are allowed to leave their homes. Go where? I don't know. I don't know where you're allowed to go
Ocean
because they're not
City,
opening
baby.
Ocean City, baby. That was like the big thing. It's again, this all goes back to how everybody has their own idea of what social distance. The same people that when they locked everything down, their immediate first move was to go to Ocean City and hang out with people on the beach. Like I know plenty of people that did this, and now all of a sudden Hogan came out on the radio. And was like, yeah, that's not social distancing. If you go on the beach, drinking on the beach does not somehow negate the whole idea of social distancing. And now they're the same people who are like, I can't believe these idiots are going on the beach in Florida. What a bunch of stupid losers. I'm like, you just did that, bro.
Yeah, you
You
want to do
just
that right now.
did that.
You wish you could do that.
Yeah. Like, I just can't even with some people, dude. You know what? I will say one thing and one thing only. I have kept a steady and consistent measure of social distancing throughout this whole process, and it had nothing to do with what the hell Hogan said. And it had nothing to do with what anybody said. When you guys said there was a virus, I said, all right, I'm washing my hands after I take a piss. most of the time, and I'm gonna stop sharing cigs with people. I'm gonna stop hitting people's jewels, and I'm just
And
gonna
also,
take
someone's gonna run over my phone.
Yeah.
Which is the main reason I haven't been.
exactly. And it didn't matter. I wasn't doing certain shit, and then all of a sudden they said that was bad, and then I was like, yeah, you're right, that is bad. Fuck everybody who does that, even though I just did that yesterday. Even though I was just in a bar 2 days before you guys locked everything down. Now you're a stupid idiot if you want to go to a bar. I was never like that. When I was at the bar, I was social distancing. Kind of. I was in the corner playing music,
Proud.
living my life the same way I would be if they opened up bars right now, And so as far as that's concerned, I feel good about that. I feel good that I didn't waffle on that shit, dude.
What's the opposite of waffling?
Fucking laying over like a goddamn pancake like all these people are, dude. You guys are pancaking on social distancing, dude. You're getting flattened out. You flattened the curve, dude. You guys got flattened out by the curve, dude. I flattened the curve. You got flattened by the curve, dude. There's a big difference. There's a big difference. I just want that to be known.
Beautiful. Fuck,
Beautiful.
What else happened? I made jerky again. So good.
I think you're slowly just
I,
becoming Native American, dude.
Pretty much, dude. I think I'm like 186th something.
So you're full blown, bro.
Full blown. No, I went shopping earlier this week. I've been like going once every like 2 weeks to go
Nice.
out, like hog wild. Just get like 2 weeks worth of shit and just like get it over with.
Do you have to
And I
wait in a line?
To get in? No.
Mm-hmm.
So this time I went to Giant. Every other time I've gone to like Eddie's or something where I did have to wait in a line like the last 2 times I went there.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, let me go to Giant. I need to get like a bunch of meat and shit. It'll be cheaper. So, dude, go to the meat section. They're sending whole tenderloin roasts for like half off.
Damn.
So I got like $100 tenderloin roast for like $50, and it's just like a big ass log of meat.
Nice.
And, wait, what other? I don't know which hand I'm supposed to bring in. This one. There we go.
Yes.
It's like
Now I can
it's
see.
very big. But I cut it into like 8 steaks, like pretty much like a bunch of like tenderloin cut steaks, and like the like filet mignon's part of that. So there's like a couple little like one big filet mignon steak, a couple small little ones, and then like 4 tenderloin cut steaks, and then I like trimmed up like a bunch of just like beef for like stir fry, and then I trimmed up a ton of beef for jerky. So I have tenderloin beef jerky, dude, and it's
Nice.
so fucking good.
That's awesome.
Like it just dissolves in your mouth.
How is the toilet paper situation and other essentials at that store?
Empty.
Really? It's still like
Empty.
that?
Empty.
How is everybody
empty,
still buying toilet paper?
So I'll eventually need to go to Eddie's again, because Eddie's, every time I've gone there, they've had paper towels and toilet paper. But like I just haven't had to get them there yet, but I'm going to have to go this week. I'm down on my last roll of toilet paper and paper towels.
Guys, if anybody's listening to this on the live stream, let me just say the greatest blessing of my life so far this year in 2020 was that I accidentally bought a 9-pack of 1-ply toilet paper in February. And at first I was pissed. I was pissed off that I accidentally got that pack of 1-ply toilet paper. But I think in the course of 2 months between me and my brother, we have gone through maybe 2 rolls. Those things last
Jesus
forever.
Christ.
And at the time when I bought it, there was coronavirus was still like barely a thing. It was just a joke that people would like say. There was no measures being taken. It was just like mid-February. Nobody was doing shit about it. Accidentally bought it. A blessing from the universe. I'm so out of touch with the toilet paper game now because I haven't had to buy any since the beginning of the year because I accidentally bought 1-ply, dude. I'm telling you guys, if you have the chance to pick up 1-ply toilet paper, get 2 rolls. You'll be good till Christmas. You'll be good. You'll be like Lil Wayne, babe. I got 3 bathrooms. I can shit all day. You can shit all day, bro. It's great.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if that was the exact context of the line. I don't know if he was referring to
toilet paper?
Coronavirus.
Coronavirus at the
I
time
don't
in
think so.
2009, but
And it might be 5 bathrooms.
yeah, I'm sure Lil Wayne has more.
Or no,
than,
it might be 10.
I would
got
say Lil
10
Wayne probably has
bathrooms,
10
I can
bathrooms.
shit all day.
What song is that from?
Steady mobbing, baby.
We be steady mobbing, and was a goon to a goblin. Yes, that was that song.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was on the coronavirus game, bro. He knew. Lil Wayne knew. Weezy knew.
Gucci was on that song too.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
Wheezy.
Gucci Man got so fit, because he knew that obesity is like a pre-existing condition
Mm-hmm.
that
Gucci was
coronavirus hits
Yeah.
heavy on.
Yeah. Also, the amount of people that have died from coronavirus with an ice cream tattoo on their face, I think 0. I don't think it's a coincidence.
I don't think so.
Could be. Could be. But if you can log in one death of a person with an ice cream cone tattooed on their face, then I will retract my statement. But until then, I'm saying that could be a possible cure. Dude, what about the whole shit with
Kim with Kim?
Oh,
Kim
yeah,
Jong-un?
Kim. What do you think's going on with that, dude?
I don't know. I still don't know if it's real or not.
You can
And
never
it's
trust those
like-
motherfuckers, dude.
It's crazy because it's like this is probably the worst time for that to happen.
Is it related? Does he have coronavirus? Or is this completely
I
unrelated?
think it was like a botched heart surgery from what I saw.
The dude is 36 years old. What is he having a
I
heart surgery
know.
for?
They're saying because of his diet and because he smoked like a shit ton.
You know whoever botched that heart surgery is good as gone.
Oh yeah,
That
dude,
guy
those
is
memes are
dust
great.
in the wind.
There's like, memes of like when Kim Jong-un's surgeon walks outside the hospital and it's just like a picture of GTA with 5 stars.
Oh my god, that's. I mean, this. I wouldn't be surprised if he was actually dead and North Korea is just lying about it because
Oh
You know,
yeah, because
if
that'd
you're
be
North
so
Korea, you
easy.
don't want to be telling people.
Because it's all leaked information from North Korea, so it's like, is this credible
I'm
information,
sure that's
or is
viable.
this the North Korean government leaking this?
Yeah.
Is this their way of trying to test if there's a leak? Did someone die because they leaked this fake shit?
Yeah,
That's
dude,
kind
that's
of where
crazy.
my mind goes.
I mean, and I think the next in line is a chick, which is big for them. They might have their first woman leader.
That'd be wild. Because didn't South Korea just get? It was like within the last couple of years where it was like a secret hive mind of like women were like running the country essentially in South
Wouldn't put
Korea.
it past them.
It was kind of crazy. It was like a crazy like conspiracy that like became true. It was
Crazy
weird.
conspiracy that women secretly are leading the country. This is ridiculous. There's no way.
So what if she was behind it?
I don't know, dude. What if North and South Korea's women are teaming up?
Jong sister.
Is she the sister? Is that what her position?
Kimmy Jong.
Kimmy Jong Il.
Yeah.
Kimberly Jong Il is the new leader of fucking whatever. And then there was a whole other thing. Look, I don't care how you're politically affiliated. To me, the whole thing with like Trump said something about injecting yourself with Lysol or something ridiculous. You heard about that?
Oh, that shit's crazy. But let me get one more good meme off that I saw. You reminded me when you said Trump. They like overlaid Kim Jong-un onto Paul Walker at the end of like Fast 6 or 7 or whatever, where it's like, it's been a long day without you, my friend. And then Kim Jong-un like turns off the ramp on the highway away from Trump, Vin Diesel.
Dude, I fucking love the internet. Can you imagine if the internet was around during World War II? How many great Hitler memes we would have had? How many great
man.
everything we would have had?
Yeah, it would have been wild. That was always a bad bit. I would always try to work out very early into comedy of what would happen if World Star was around during 9/11.
That is a good concept.
Yeah, it's
I'm
a good
laughing at the premise.
concept, but I never fully realized the bit.
I think you should get to work on that because even the premise would get a laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you just said like, you guys ever thought about like what not if worlds? That's an immediate. That's a given laugh. All you got to do is just be able to ride that wave at that point because that's funny. That is funny. But
going back to the whole injecting yourself with Lysol, it's amazing to me that like has become a thing. Like
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I haven't seen the actual clip, but it's also exhausting to have to like do that all the time because it does seem like every time they make a big deal about anything, then you like go and watch it for yourself and you're just like, oh, okay, well, what? You know? So I'll be honest, full disclosure, I have not watched the actual
I mean, I think it's pretty bad. I
But
think he
also-
advises people to try to clean out their lungs by like inhaling bleach.
Was that what he was advising people to do? Was that a serious thing that
I don't
he
know
said?
if that's the exact thing, but it was along the lines of just taking Lysol as medicine to disinfect your body of coronavirus.
Look, call me crazy, but I'm finding it very hard to believe that Donald Trump went on national television and fully seriously pitched drinking bleach as a valid cure for coronavirus.
I don't think it was drinking
That could just be
bleach.
the conspiracy theorist in me
Yeah.
thinking that.
I don't think he said drink bleach in particular, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just don't think, because like most of the shit he does at those press conferences, this is him like getting in his like fucking routine. Because like usually he'd be out like on stage in like a rally or some shit,
Yeah.
like doing a new hour every night of comedy. And now he can't do that, so he's just doing like shitty spots on the White House lawn every day.
Yeah.
Where he's like just doing crowd work, and he's just on the spot trying to come up with like cures for the virus. And I mean, like it was like the hydrochloroquine or whatever a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I was just
like
gonna bring that up.
The malaria drug, where it's like, I guess, I don't know, like it works for some people, but for some people it like accelerates it, or like it's so closely related to like another thing, which is just like pool cleaner. It's just like
Yeah, it was like
chlorine,
fish tank cleaner or something, yeah.
hydrochlorine or whatever.
Yeah.
Or something.
And that it's this situation is very reminiscent of that because I remember that being a big thing when like that couple drank their fish tank cleaner because it had hydroxychloroquine or whatever the hell it is. I don't even know what it's called. But like it had that in there and they were like, Trump made this happen. And it's like, dude,
it cleans a fish tank, it'll clean me out.
do we not have have we forgotten as a society
sense or
that there
what?
is a certain level of like there is just a certain amount of complete fucking idiots in the country? Like, have we forgotten that? Are we a post idiot society where
we've kind of learned that we're not. So
exactly. So
we
like
shouldn't really say some of this stuff, you know?
yeah, I
It's
guess
the same thing. I mean, like, I forget. I used it as like a thing recently, but just like screaming fire in a movie theater, dude. Like, we're in a fire right now, and we're all looking for the exit to fucking get away from this virus or like, you know, be done with it. So just someone yelling out random shit to be like, hey, maybe we should throw gas on the fire so it'll burn out quicker. It's like, no.
I just
Let's not listen to that guy.
I just you know, I have a certain level of and
And I'm
it's
not trying to be too negative on the president, dude.
No. I get what you're
But
coming from, and I will say there
It's
is a lot of
fucking ridiculous.
there's a lot of weight in the whole situation where it's like you want a guy to be completely serious all the time, this, that, the other thing, and whatever. I get it, but at the same time, it's kind of like, you know, if you're teaching a college class where like if a professor slips up or says like a joke that like one student in the class didn't like and all of a sudden he gets reported, this, that, the other thing. And it's kind of like we live in this society where it's like you're playing to the lowest common denominator where it's like the guy is on television every night, sometimes for up to like 2.5 hours talking, just having conversations with reporters, free balling it. Just out there, just having conversations, talking every night. I mean, I like that. That's cool that he's doing that. And Hogan does that too, and it's dope. Because that's what you need to be doing. But are we so past the idea of like, you know, again, I'm finding it very hard to believe that he was seriously pitching the idea of doing whatever he suggested doing. I think that it was, at worst, it was just a joke. And the fact that I'm assuming that like, I guess there's a certain amount of people that are just like, oh no, you can't make any jokes whatsoever. It's like, if you listen to that press conference and you hear the president say, hey, do this, like, if you listen,
Dude,
and you
I
hear,
don't know. That's a bad argument.
I don't know, dude. I
I
just
mean, do you honestly think the president should be joking about like making, I don't know, like there was like this like dumb internet thing a while ago where it was like you can make it was like you can make gold by putting aluminum foil in bleach and something else, and basically it would just create chlorine gas. And like it was basically just like a trick, like a very morbid troll to try to get people to kill themselves. And it's like that's essentially what Trump is doing. He's like, "Oh, you want to get rid of coronavirus? Yeah, inject Lysol into your blood to clean it out." Like, don't you think that's a little bit fucked up? If like, and honestly, I haven't seen the clip, so I don't
Me
know.
neither. It's very
I
hard
don't
for us to
know
have
the
a.
context of anything that he said. All I've seen are headlines, and based on those headlines, I'm like, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, but also, again, going back to what I was saying before, and I agree, the argument I'm making is certainly not my best argument I've ever pitched. I'll admit that. Also, it's very difficult for me to make this argument because, again, we haven't seen the clip. So, maybe I'll watch it and be like, oh, shit. Now I want to inject myself with bleach. Good thing CNN came on and told me not to, because otherwise I would have fucking done it because Trump said to. I don't know. Maybe that's how people think. I don't know. But it's just very difficult for me to believe that somebody could say something like that and like maybe 0.0000001% of the population is dumb enough to not see that was a sarcastic remark and actually do something like that, the same way somebody heard about the term hydroxychloroquine and decided they were going to drink fish tank cleaner. And it's like, those people are always going to exist. Those people are always going to exist. And it's weird to me that, like, I guess, because I have a sense of humor and I'm able to watch these press conferences and be like, okay, that was a serious remark. That was a joke. That was sarcastic. That was real. And you're able to pick that up, and I'm able to pick that up, and I'm not stupid enough to drink bleach. It's hard for me to put myself in the mindset of someone who is that fucking dumb, to the point where I'm now going to be like, well, I guess there really are people. Maybe there are people that dumb, and maybe I'm just overestimating
Dude,
the public.
There are people that dumb. Like,
Fine.
we all encounter them.
I guess, yeah.
I don't know.
I guess you're right.
And I totally,
might be right on this one.
I think it's funny when fucking Trump rips into reporters during those press conferences. It's fucking hilarious, dude. But I don't know. Even as just like filler talk where he's just like rambling or like, has an idea in the moment on stage where he's like, hey, haven't we done this yet?
Mm-hmm.
How come the scientists haven't been working on this? Maybe we should try this out. I don't know. That just gives people who aren't smart bad ideas.
Yeah, and I guess there
bad.
is a line you have to walk, because for someone like me, I actually appreciate, like, I think for a lot of people, I appreciate the.
Here, I'm gonna go on computer speakers real quick while I make a drink so
Hell
I can
yeah.
hear this
Hell yeah.
argument.
Cool. Yeah.
Or not even an argument. We're just
Yeah,
talking.
yeah.
We're just friends hanging out, dude.
Mm-hmm. But like, I think a lot of people appreciate the fact that when the president speaks, it sounds like it's really just someone talking. It doesn't sound like some pre-rehearsed type of speech or some, like, where you can just tell that they're just reading off lines. Like, I'll say this, dude. There is nothing more painful to me than listening to Mayor Jack Young in Baltimore, the mayor of Baltimore City, the acting mayor of Baltimore City, do a press conference. There's nothing more. It just irks me, because even listening to it on the radio, it sounds like a kid in like 8th grade English class reading a page off the book when they do like popcorn reading, and you just have like you just pick on a kid and he's just like stumbling through the words and just like, and we're gonna do this, and you just know that none of what he's saying is his idea. He's just literally reading it off a thing. He's being told what to say, and he's not even good at pretending that he's saying what he's saying. It's like so obvious, and it grinds my fucking gears. So it is refreshing to a lot of people to hear a politician really actually sound like he's just really talking. And so I also will acknowledge that I guess there's a reason why politicians have taken on that demeanor of just being pre-rehearsed and stuff like that. So you never say anything, that this, that, the other thing. But
It's like
you
never
know,
throw off a voting base.
so I guess I can see where people are coming from, but for me, if I had to choose between, there you go, the middle school snacks, the middle school throwbacks. If I
Dude, I
had
had
to
them in the
choose,
freezer. Got some zebra cakes, baby.
hell yeah. I'll just close out by saying if I had to choose between somebody who was speaking, and that's another thing that I think, like I think Bernie got a lot of flack too, because he's another guy who just kind of talks very honestly. He doesn't sound pre-rehearsed when he talks. That's why a lot of people liked him. And yeah, he had some flubs too here and there, but that all comes with the territory of speaking freely and just speaking your mind. When you're talking in an honest way, just like we're doing right now, where we didn't pre-rehearse these arguments. There's a lot of shit that I've probably said over the course of just this past 2 hours that sounds really stupid. But on the same token, we're just being honest. I'm just thinking as I'm talking, and I would rather hear someone think as they talk and feel like they're actually being, present and forthcoming when they speak than the alternative. And I understand that, when you have a president like Donald Trump, you're going to have those situations where he says something off color or something like that. But it's just very hard for me to put myself in the position where I am legitimately, now I have to put myself in the position of some complete fucking idiot who listens to a press conference and goes, "Oh, that's a good idea. Let me just try that." It's like, okay, I guess you're right. There are people like that. Maybe you shouldn't say that. But it's very hard. It's very, very, very hard for me to put myself in that mindset. Because as a normal person like myself, it's the same situation where it's like they were talking that they censor shit on Facebook where they're starting to take down articles and stuff. I tried to advertise our video this week and you can't use coronavirus or COVID as tags. They won't let you and stuff.
Damn.
And I'm like, dude, but this segment is about coronavirus. Why can't I tag it? And it's like, they're taking measures to censor and pre-filter the information that's out there. And I've always been opposed to that because I've always thought that look, give me access to all the information I can access and I will critically review it and come to my conclusion, an educated conclusion based off of everything that's out there. I also understand that there's a lot of people that aren't going to do that. And so you can just pump their minds full of any information you want.
I mean, but that's also their right. It's their ad service.
Exactly. So in that same line of thinking, I feel like I'm a responsible enough adult to be able to listen to the president give a 3-hour press conference and maybe say 1 or 2 sarcastic remarks or off-color jokes throughout the course of that, and being a sensible adult, be like, okay, I'm not dumb enough to take this literally, But I guess people are right when they say, yeah, maybe there are a lot of people that are that fucking stupid, But just say that. Just say, look, the president was clearly making a joke, but you got to take into account there's a lot of fucking idiots out there. Just say that, because at least that's honest. Don't be like the president was telling people
There's also
to
still
drink
you
bleach.
assuming that it was a joke too. We still both haven't seen the actual clip.
I tell you what, dude, I will cancel the podcast indefinitely if I watch this video and Donald Trump is staring into the camera saying, right now we're seriously looking at drinking bleach and injecting yourself with Lysol as a legitimate cure for corona. I will jump off my balcony if that's the case.
No, don't say that.
I will do that because I don't believe it. I don't think that's possible. And I don't think anybody believes it. That's the other thing. I don't think anyone legitimately believes that that's what he was saying. In the same way that people go to a comedy show and they get all pissed off, and I understand the president's not a comedian, but it's the same state of mind when you go to a comedy show and you take things literally and you do this, that, the other thing. I understand it's the president, so it's not the same argument, but at the end of the day, there's people that are hearing that and then trying to make it seem like it's something it's not, which instead, if they were to just be honest and say, look, we all know that he wasn't being serious when he said to inject yourself with Lysol, but let's also acknowledge that there are people that don't realize that, so maybe you shouldn't do that. That's fair. I'll take that. What I'm not going to take is you trying to tell me that he's seriously suggesting that. But I'll watch the clip, and then if that's the case and I haven't jumped off my balcony next week, we'll talk about it.
We'll figure it. We'll tune in next week, guys.
Yeah. We'll get back. If I'm not here, then you'll know I was wrong. If it's just live from the studio with Eric and the ghost of Jimmy Selesky.
Live from the studio, with and Eric.
And I'm just over, woo, woo. Looks like I was wrong. I drank the bleach. Woo.
That's what I'll do. I will drink bleach. I will drink bleach if it turns out that that's what he really said.
No, don't do that.
I'll do it. Because I'm that fucking stupid.
No one at home drink bleach. No one do that.
And of course, we're being sarcastic when we say that.
No,
No.
we're not being sarcastic. When
Make
we
your
say
own
don't
judgments.
do
I
it.
trust our listeners, Eric. I trust that there's no one stupid enough listening to our podcast. If you're listening live from the studio, you're probably an educated, smart person. You know, probably. Or probably not. In
I
which
don't know.
case,
Whatever you do, just don't do that.
don't do that, guys.
We're in weird times, dude. People get bored. We don't want people doing that out of
Thought
boredom.
about it, dude. I ran out of vodka a couple times and wondered, can I make a bleach and tonic? Is that a drink? Is a bleach and tonic a thing?
Yeah, a Drano and tonic.
Drano and tonic. Talk about a drink right there, dog. You got yourself a nice Lysol ginger over there. Beautiful.
Hell yeah.
It's nice to be back on the high lives. This is about as close to a bleach and tonic as you can get.
Yeah, dude. Luckily, I'm still pretty stocked up on alcohol, but worst comes to worst, I'll do some Listerine Manhattans.
We used to do whiskey Mucinexes when we had a cold at Seasons.
Oh my god.
Not a bad drink, I'm not gonna lie. Mucinex has like a nice menthol taste to it, and not bad. Not bad. Get you super fucked up too. One drink is like 10 drinks,
Jeez.
and you don't have a cough. Or you might have a cough, you just don't remember it.
But it's from the alcohol. It burns your throat, but that's good because then that kills the bacteria. It's an alcoholic reasoning.
I'm about to rip into this dum-dum that GoPuff gave me. GoPuff likes to give lollipops, and I'm a big
Little
fan of
treats.
lollipops. And one of my biggest qualms with banks now is that you have to they don't just leave the lollipops out for you to grab. So now I literally, as a 27-year-old man, have to ask them for a lollipop.
You know that they hid the lollipops because of you, right?
It's absolutely true. I don't think anybody else eats bank lollipops aside from me. Well, I'm eating a GoPuff lollipop right now.
There's like a whole episode about that in the new Curb Your Enthusiasm season, where he just keeps going to the car dealership because they have really good licorice.
Mm-hmm.
So then eventually he just like spite buys a car, so then he can keep coming back to get more licorice.
That's why I have a bank account. You know what we didn't talk about, which I thought was really nice that we did last week after the podcast? We watched Louis' special. So that was really good. I was laughing my ass off. And I
It was
will
funny.
say, dude, the fact
I
that he
will
talked
say
about
that it was pretty funny.
it was the fucking retard bit was awesome. The whole like I mean I just, I really liked it. I think that's one of those things that like stands out to me as like it's really hard to come back from that. And regardless of your opinions of Louis C.K. And what he did, there is a certain level of like the fact that he addressed it and like
it's
came
he
back.
wrote an article in like the New York Times about it.
Mm-hmm. It was I
And
couldn't
I mean, like
believe
there
it.
were some flaws with that article.
Yeah.
Like to be fair, but I mean, at least he wasn't like fucking Weinstein or Cosby about it,
Yeah.
where they still just deny.
Yeah, he talked about it, and he obviously it's a comedy special, so he peppers in jokes and stuff like that. He didn't just like, all right, let's take a 15-minute pause and have a very serious conversation about my accusations during this, essentially a Netflix special. Like, no, he talked, but he addressed it, and he had a great special otherwise, and I thought that was really cool. I personally am glad to see him back. That's just me. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that when he said he was coming out with a special, I wasn't fucking stoked, and it wasn't my first move to try to find a way to watch it for free.
I mean, and technically, it's a win for fans of Louis, but it's pretty much a win for anyone who doesn't like Louis too, because he is essentially canceled now. Like all he had left was stand up, and now no one can do stand up.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, he released a special, but he still can't do it now. So
Yeah. Now we're all
you
canceled.
can't be that mad.
Everybody happy now? We're all canceled. 2020 is fucking canceled. You guys win. Now when we come back,
Now, when we come back, we can all be racist.
Yeah, let's all be racist. And just start back at zero again, dude. We've reached the pinnacle of what we could do with our new state of mind. Let's just go back to the way it was.
Yeah, but we'll shuffle it around this time.
Yeah, we're not going to be as overt, you know,
We're not but going to be nostalgic about racism.
because we're going to be doing.
We're going to have Silicon Valley. We're going to have our experts in Silicon Valley invent a new racism.
So we can all be racist towards that new race, and it's fun.
And we're going to call it AI.
Oh no, did I drop my fucking lollipop?
Damn, dude. You're going to have to make an appointment to the bank so you can get a new lollipop.
This lollipop is not safe to eat now. It's got hair from the countless amount of people that have been in my apartment
Jeez,
since
yeah.
I vacuumed most recently, which is
Yeah, Corona carpet, dude.
Corona car. I definitely have coronavirus nestled somewhere within the fabric of my carpet. Luckily, I wear the protective barrier socks. Yeah, that lollipop's going for it. And I'm actually, this is like, I'm not letting on to how disappointed I am, but I'm not happy about this. Not happy about it at
Dude,
all.
I just crushed my zebra cakes.
You did crush those, and you
sorry.
didn't drop a morsel.
I didn't drop them more.
You held on to every last stripe of that zebra cake.
Every inch of that.
And it was the worst because, like, it was an orange flavored lollipop, so it really complimented it. I was
It was
essentially,
Louis, dude.
I was drinking a High Life mimosa, dude. I had the orange with the champagne. It was a great combination. And now it's ruined. Now I'm back to Jewel and High Life. A Jewel is like the adult lollipop.
Jewel and High Life is like the Essex Yacht Club version of like
Cigar in a Manhattan.
yeah.
Jewel and a High Life. What if they had
Jewel and a
nicotine
High Life.
lollipops? That'd be nice, right?
Oh, they probably have them in Mexico or some shit.
Nicotine ring pops, bro. Think
That was the
about it.
craziest shit you told me about when you went to Mexico. They had like 3-part crushes.
Yeah.
Or like 2-part crushes and
Yeah,
like
they had, like-
flavored tobacco.
Yeah, like menthol ball and also like a grape ball. Mind you, they were the worst things ever. I mean, I smoked a grape Camel Crush. It was literally so bad. I think that they should make those the only cigarettes available because if that was the case, nobody would smoke cigarettes ever. Instead of they should allow all that shit because it's so fucking bad. You know? Like have you ever tried like a flavored Juul? Some of that shit sucks. Take menthol. Menthol is doable. That's the problem. You put the most appetizing thing and made it legal when you should have made grape cigarettes the only thing kids can get. Give a kid a grape cigarette, see what happens. That kid's never smoking again. I almost quit.
Oh shit. But yeah, I mean, I think overall good special.
I think it'd be hard to say otherwise, dude. I mean, look, take all of everything else out of it. Everything else, which I know you can't do technically, but look at it on an objective level. On an objective level, probably top 3 specials of the year. And when I say top 3, I'm talking my top 3 this year were Bill Burr, Chappelle, and
I mean, it's like a small pool too because no one's going to be able to really release a special.
yeah, it's true too.
Well, also, was there a new Chappelle special this year? Or are
I'm
you
not
talking
in
about the Mark
2020. I'm talking
Twain
about in
thing?
the past year. I feel like Chappelle came
okay.
out with one in the past year, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, those are the top 3. Those are the big dogs. But also, I think I listened to too much of Bill Burr's podcast, and like I've heard him like riff on a lot of those premises just like randomly. And so when his special came out, nothing really hit me as new, you know, because like I've already heard him riff on a lot of those premises where I was like, okay, well, this is like his constructed bit on this premise, but I've already heard this premise and I've already heard him talk about it, so it's not like. It wasn't like new. That's what I think Louis.
Dude, Tom Segura and Chris
that was
D'Elia
another
were
good
good
one.
too.
Yeah, I haven't watched Chris D'Elia's yet.
Chris
Tom
D'Elia
Segura's is really good
funny.
though. I love Tom Segura. I think he's very underrated.
Tom Segura is super funny.
He's definitely one of the big dogs that he's the littlest big dog, I think.
Yeah.
I think
He
Rogan
got,
is
he got
another one.
donned by Rogan, dude.
Yeah. But Rogan's specials don't really ever kill it for me.
Yeah.
I
I definitely enjoy him as like a personality
Yeah.
more than a comedian.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're good, but I wouldn't say
For
Joe
sure.
Rogan is like my top stand-up. You know?
It's always so weird just like seeing him, like
Yeah.
seeing his full body.
Yeah.
Because usually I'm just like used to seeing his torso and like his head, but like just seeing like a short, very jacked man
Yeah.
just like act out Chris Jenner as like a dinosaur. It's like this is very silly.
Yeah, it's weird. He's seen so much in like the podcast light now that it is kind of like you forget that like he's a stand-up comedian first. And he has so many hats that it's like I'll watch like UFC fights sometimes and just like see him like out in the middle of the octagon like interviewing a fighter post fight, and I'm just like, this is so weird.
Yeah.
That's Joe Rogan again.
But he's funny,
He's
though.
everywhere. Oh, he's awesome. He's awesome.
He's great.
He's living the dream, dude. He's probably my biggest celebrity. Like of all the people that I would meet in life, I think he would
like,
be the one that I'd be
biggest, like-
starstruck by.
Yeah.
I'd be like, holy
you'd freak
shit, that's
out.
Joe Rogan. I can't believe this shit, dude. That's Joe Rogan. I watch that dude all the time.
Meanwhile, you're like towering over him, just like
Yeah, I know.
sweating onto the top of his bald head.
Isn't that the best that we're just taller than most people? I
That's
love
the
it.
craziest thing. Anytime like I meet someone who I've like looked up to, I'm like, damn, fucking whoop your ass, dude.
Let me ask you a would you rather question here. It's going to
Yeah.
sound very demeaning to people that aren't lucky enough to be 6'2" like us. If you had to choose between losing your sense of humor and staying 6'2", or still being funny and shit and being 5'6", would you do it? Because I
don't
think
know.
about that too. For me, like
I
if I
think
had to choose
it's
between-
hard. It's hard because like also like I don't know. It'd be weird because like would I start my whole life over as
it'd be
only
weird if
being
all of a
able to
sudden
grow
you were.
to 5'6", or I mean like I don't know. It just shit.
It wouldn't be like something where like all of a sudden one day you're just 5'6", and then you have to explain to people when next time you go to sidebar, like,
Yeah.
oh, you're probably wondering why I'm a foot shorter. It's because I was faced with this unbelievable choice where I had to choose to be able to still do comedy and be 5'6", or just be a regular dude at 6'2", and I
Yeah.
took comedy. You know, it would have to be like just your whole like for me, it's like would I always ask myself, like, if I was never able to sing or play guitar, you know, or if I could sing and play guitar, but I had to be like 5'5", 5'6", which would I choose? And the logic there is like, most people that just meet me, they don't know that I sing. That's not like a prevailing aspect of my, you know, personality to people until they know me.
Yeah, for
you know, then
sure.
it's like all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, turns out this guy can sing. You know, unless you literally met me while I was at a gig singing. So
Kinda
like
same with me though too
that's true too.
for like comedy.
But being funny is a little bit different though, because that's something that transcends regular day-to-day interactions. Like when I'm talking about like being funny, I'm just talking about like, it amazes me that there are people that just aren't funny. That like, how do you
Oh,
get
yeah.
people to like
Oh,
you?
dude?
How do you
That
get people to
was-
like you?
That was fucking something that happened too, where for the last 2 weeks, we've been able to do like these Skype group calls with my grandma in her like rehab facility. So like last week, it was like her first time ever doing like a video call. So she was like holding a phone, literally for the first time. Did we talk about this last week? I think.
I don't think so.
Maybe not. Okay. So basically, like, it was like me, my mom, my dad on like one screen. I was on another screen, and then my brother was on like another screen, and we're called into our grandma, and she was like holding, I guess, like one of the hospital or the like rehab facility workers' phones. And, you know, the entire time, me just like, she just like looked like one of those like pictures of like an animal on like a FaceTime call. She just like didn't know what was going on, but she kept like looking and be like, "Oh, you guys look so nice," and da da da. But so we did another call this last Friday, and like right when we got into the call, like we were all hanging out, and like I made just like some stupid joke, and I got some laughs, and I was like, "All right, cool." And then like later on in the call, like this last week, my aunt and uncle got on too, and my aunt tried to make like a joke, but then like my grandma was like, "What? I couldn't hear you," and then she like repeated it, and then my grandma was like, "What? I couldn't hear you still,"
no.
and then she's like, "Ah, I didn't. Don't worry about it. It was just a joke." And then my mom was like, "You should leave the comedy to Eric." I was like, well, but so I think she was like saying that to my dad, but didn't realize like because she kind of like said it quietly, but it still picked up like crystal clear.
No.
And I was just like, Jesus Christ,
Dude.
like thank you, Mom, but also like,
That's
damn,
heartbreaking.
fucking slamming Nicole like that.
Devastating.
In the Skype call with Grandma, her fucking like nurse is sitting there listening into this.
I think this is important to do, and because I feel
So
like
I guess I wouldn't want to lose comedy, just because I feel like comedy is more a driving factor in my life than being 6'2".
yeah. But also, you have tall privilege, bro.
But
You
also,
don't
I
even
would
know.
never know. Yeah, I
You
would
don't
never
even know what your life would be like if you weren't
that's
6'2".
true.
We do have
I
privilege,
do definitely think of the privileges of being tall.
but we were short.
Every sink is a urinal, dude.
That's true too. But that's the thing. Like, we used to be short. Like, I used to be shorter than girls in middle school and
yeah.
early high school.
I
So
was
like,
short
I
until,
remember.
like, ninth
It's not like
and
I've never
10th
been
grade.
short. So like, I'm familiar with what it was like, and I would take being 6'2" over that bullshit any day of the week.
Yeah, for sure.
But as far as comedy goes, and this kind of goes back to what we were talking about with the whole Bleach thing and things like that, and why I think the way I think. For me, a conversation like comedy, I've always kind of had this theory in my mind, which was that if I can make you laugh, I can make you listen. And I think that comedy and making jokes is a very important aspect of conveying yourself, even if the point you're trying to make is serious. Like, I think it's much more, for me, it's much easier if I'm expressing myself to try to make little jokes in between, so it doesn't just sound like this like super serious, like, because it's annoying when somebody's like trying to make a point, or like even in like regular conversation, if you're just hanging out with somebody and they don't occasionally pepper in a joke, like everything's fucking
Yeah, just
serious.
break things up, dude.
Yeah, just like it's
getting too boring.
comedy is
Make
you
me want to
wonder,
keep listening.
laughter is such a weird thing, and it's something that like we've addressed at times on the podcast before, but it is one of those weird social things. It's this uncontrollable reaction you have, and you think about, what is that? What is humor? Like, what are we doing when you make somebody laugh? You're connecting with them. You're connecting with them on a level where you have this subconscious, involuntary reaction where you're like, dude, whatever you just said hit me on some level that made me involuntarily just make this sound that I would never regularly make. This involuntary sound that I'm making, and it expresses this sense of like, we're on the same level. If you're laughing with somebody, it's like you're connected with somebody, you know? It's weird. And so to me, I think comedy is such an important aspect, and humor is such an important aspect of communication, which, going back to what we were talking about before, is probably why I don't see making small jokes and making little remarks like that over the course of a serious situation as such a terrible thing. I'm not saying I'm right, but I'm just saying this is why I'm saying what I'm saying, because of the way I think, because I also see making little jokes and making little sarcastic remarks to try to keep the conversation going and keep it like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, just it's an important part of communication, I think. And I think I don't like the idea that like certain conversations just have to be 100% serious all the time, because that's not real communication. You're not really being honest when you're doing that. If you're really being honest, you're talking to somebody and you're connecting with them on a certain level. You're trying to find because on a certain plane and say, hey, we're all in this situation together. Bingo, bango, bango. So like, I guess in that aspect, I think because the other thing I think is like, if I had to choose between like having a sense of humor or having musical talent, I'd take sense of humor any fucking day. Any day of the week. I think that's, I literally, for me, it's always been like a coping mechanism. It's been the only way that I could make people like me, because I was never, growing up, I was never like cool. There were kids that were like cool that weren't funny. They just were cool. Like they skateboarded and shit, and they just like, they weren't necessarily somebody who was gonna make you laugh, but for some reason, like, you always felt like you had to make them laugh. Like you
Yeah.
felt like you had to impress them, and it was like, why do I have to make you
There's
laugh? You
always,
haven't made me
like-
laugh once, bro.
There's always like one very like quiet and like meek person in the like that would hang out with the cool kids, and you'd always be like, "What do you even contribute? Like, do you ever even talk? Like, what's going on?"
That's true, dude. I've always envied those guys, though. I've always thought that was a cool type personality type.
Because at the end of the day, you're like always like, what is he hiding? What makes
Yeah.
him so cool?
The strong, silent type, dude. First of all, apparently chicks love that, the strong, silent type. And that's something that I know that will never be. I've always thought it would be cool to be like the man of few words. You know how like they'll talk about certain people, they're like, oh, that guy, like he doesn't talk much, but when he does talk, you better fucking listen up. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't say much, but when he did speak, it was like this, that, the other thing. Like that's never going to be me. I always kind of forfeited to
I
like,
say too much.
I'm just going to say a lot all the
People
time.
Listen to a little of it.
Yeah, and like you're gonna hear some of the shit I say and be like, that was dope. And some of the shit you're gonna hear that I say, you're gonna be like, why did you bother opening your mouth, bro? You could have just as easily not said that. And it'd been fine. No, everybody's life would have been just as great. In fact, probably better if you didn't say that. You know? And that's, but like, you can't be everything all at once. Like, I'm not the strong silent type, bro. I'm over that. I've always envied those guys. I've always thought that was cool. It takes a lot of confidence to be able to be in a situation and be so confident that you don't even feel like you have to like constantly like be a part of it and like make people like reassure yourself that people actually give a fuck about your existence. Like you just know you're cool. I don't know I'm cool. I got to make you laugh, bro.
Yeah.
If I don't make you laugh at least once every 2 minutes, I think you hate me.
Yeah, and it's not even like making you laugh just to make you laugh. I mean, it is, but also it's like to cut the tension of being like, all right, cool. So we're still both on the same page.
We're still friends.
You still like me. All right, that'll, quiet that down for a couple minutes until I have to do it again.
But yeah, I think that's super, super crucial. And so in that aspect, I'm glad we're not faced with this decision right now. But
Yeah.
if we were, I guess I'd take being 5'6". And I know there's probably a lot of people that are 5'6" listening to this right now that are like, dude, fuck you
They're
guys.
so pissed. 'cause
Literally,
they're,
fuck you
they're
guys.
5'6" and they don't do comedy or music, and they just suck.
But everybody's got their shit that they have to cope with, bro. Like, I have my shortcomings as well.
Yeah.
This just doesn't have to be one of them. This is a
Exactly.
literal
I'm
not
killing it in
shortcoming.
height, dude.
like there's a reason why the word shortcoming exists, and that's because being short is the ultimate
Sucks.
shortcoming. That is a literal, you are coming in short. Not
Yeah.
good. Not good.
Some would say bad.
Some would say bad. We're just saying short.
And some
We're-
would say bad. The news reporter.
Live at 5, being short, bad? Tune in. I'll get another beer. Be right back.
A local man's shortcomings are. Fuck. I ruined that already. But it was supposed to be like a size is a factor in this man's shortcomings. Tune in at 6 to see this little fellow's constraints of a higher degree. Something. We're gonna cut all that out. That
feel
was
like at this-
bad, dude. I was trying to do one and it just spun out of control. We're cutting that.
What you just do? I'm gonna hear this in editing, bro.
I'm editing it before I send it to you, dude.
You were apologizing to our short listeners.
And no, I was like, I was trying to do like another news reporter thing, but I was just fumbling through the double entendres.
SMH, bro.
But
We've
I'm
had
gonna
such
cut all
quality,
of it out,
perfect
so it's
content
not
up until
even
now.
no one's even gonna know because it's all gonna be seamless. So, but
You're gonna
another
cut it
thing
out
I wanted to
post-live
talk
stream?
about. Oh fuck, I gotta do that again. But also, I didn't have a thing to talk about, so I didn't know where I was going with that.
What you want to talk about, bro?
I don't know.
For a second, you definitely had something you want to talk about.
No, I was just trying to seamlessly have a point to cut.
I'm waiting for a fucking Google ad to run too. I don't know when that's gonna take off. Put $50 on it.
Put
And I'm
50
also-
on
yeah.
that.
Yeah, put 50 on that. I think I'm just gonna take all my unemployment money and just spend it on that shit, dude. Why not? Why not? What else am I gonna spend it on?
Rent
Fucking shaving.
or bills or
Dude, I fucking got my bills covered, bro. I'm financially, fiscally responsible.
hell yeah.
I
We
was,
advise all of you listening to be as well.
yeah, please do be. Please do be. And if you haven't quit your job yet and collected unemployment, do it now.
Do it now. Rips the jewel.
Trust me. I don't even know why I'm fucking working. I feel like a simp working.
Oh man.
This
Yeah.
also completely goes against the whole theory that if you gave people money, that they would just be like, fuck it, I'll still. No, dude. If you give people enough money so they don't have to work, the first thing they're doing is not working. Because why
Yeah.
would you? Most people don't like their jobs. Most people fucking hate their jobs. Most people, during the course of a week, are still living, unfortunately, and this isn't a jab at anyone, but it's almost, I kind of feel bad about it, is that a lot of people, it's like their life as an adult is like the way life was for us when we were in school, where it was like,
Yeah.
fuck, dude, can't wait till Friday. I fucking hate this shit, dude. If there's one thing I was reminded of by my dream last night, it was that school fucking sucked, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking sucked. And that's like work if you don't do something you like. So why the hell would people do that?
I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm always so jealous when people talk about dreams because I feel like I barely ever remember my dreams.
Do you dream though? Do you remember if you do dream?
I like every once in a while I'll remember a dream, so I know they're happening.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know.
It's definitely crucial. I put a lot
Maybe
of
I'm
weight
like
on my dreams.
repressing a lot of dream memories. Maybe some fucked up shit's going on in my dreams.
Dude, I don't know. I think that remembering your dreams is like, it's weird because I actually feel like I learn a lot from them because to me, it's kind of like your subconscious just takes over and you just kind of like get to watch whatever is going on in the back of your mind, you know? And so I do like place a lot of importance on like writing them down when I remember. For the most part, I just
Well,
remember.
and that also
you know?
helps you remember them too and makes you remember them more. So maybe that's something I should start doing.
Yeah. Like there's a lot of like symbolic shit and like there's a lot of like dream interpretation shit where like if you're running from somebody in a dream, that means this or this, that, the other thing. I don't believe any of that. I think everybody has their own. It is odd to me. I was thinking about that, how people tend to have very similar dreams. Like there's like memes where they're like when you try to throw a punch in your dream and like that's such a common thing when you're trying to like fight somebody but you're just like moving so slow, you're trying to run away but you can't run fast, or like when you're just like naked in public or something and you're like that. Like I said, that happened to me yesterday. I was like shirtless in the class and I was like, why am I doing this? Like everybody thinks I'm a tool right now. I remember in my dream I walked up to the window to close it and I wasn't wearing a shirt and I was just thinking, why? Everybody thinks I'm such a douchebag right now, but I don't remember
so
taking
cold.
off my
Let
shirt.
me close this window.
But also,
Everyone's
I don't remember
"Put on
putting
a
my shirt
fucking
on."
Shirt, bro.
Exactly, bro. It's cold because you're not wearing a shirt.
Oh my god, dude, we're getting close to 3 hours.
Are we really?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
we should probably wrap things up.
Yeah, this podcast has been dreamy.
It's gonna be a long, livey.
I don't think I've ever sounded stupider on a podcast than I have tonight,
I know.
which is great.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, the back end of this is for the fans.
Yeah.
They love
If you guys
this
are
kinda
still
stuff.
watching, I'm sorry.
and you're welcome.
I don't know what to tell you other than you're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, you can catch us every week on Facebook Live. It's on our Live from the Studio page, and Jimmy always shares it. My lips are so shiny right now because I just put on fucking lip balm.
Oh, yeah. You're looking great, dude.
I know, thank you. But LFTS podcasts are across the board. Like I said, we're live every Monday on Facebook at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm Eric Glazer on most things, too. Jimmy's at Jimmy Selesky on most things.
Most things. Not TikTok yet. Haven't made that jump yet. Don't think it's going to happen. No Tumblr, unfortunately. If you're a 16-year-old girl, can't find me on Tumblr. Sorry about that.
Yeah. And if you're playing, I got this new game because I got my new computer. I got into this new game. It's in beta. It's called Valorant.
Nice.
It's like this new shooter. It's kind of like Counter-Strike, but there's like hero abilities. It's kind of weird, but it's pretty fun. If you want to play, I'm EC92 hashtag 410. So,
Hell yeah, dude.
because you have to have like a call sign after your name. And I was like, 410, baby.
410, baby. Unheard of.
Hit me up
Unheard
if
of.
you want to play Valorant.
In that same vein, guys, if you're feeling fucking lucky and you want to log on to chess.com, bitch, play me at Solesco, Solesgo. And according to statistics, you have about a 60% chance of beating me. But I'm convinced I will fucking smoke you, regardless of my actual performance in chess.
Hell
Highly
yeah.
confident. So see me on that, chess.com at Solesco. Everything else, Jimmy Selesky. LFTS podcast on everything. Look out for our ads if you're browsing YouTube. Just found out, if you skip the ad, we don't have to pay for it. So I'll tell you what, if you don't like the ad, don't watch it and then not go to Spotify and like subscribe. Just skip it immediately. That way we don't have to pay for your non-support.
Or if you're already a fan and you love the podcast,
Skip
don't watch
immediately.
the ad. Just skip immediately.
Skip
let it go to someone
immediately.
else.
Yeah. Don't feel bad. Don't be like, I'm going to watch this for Jim or
No,
Eric.
you're saving us
just don't.
money.
Save us money, dude.
Well,
We're
you're
paying
saving Jimmy money.
11 cents per view. Need that. But yeah,
I need that.
that's it for this week. This can be a doozy to edit. But
Yeah, this will be. We're gonna need these files immediately. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace.
peace.